Hello, and welcome to Allshorts. I hope you're all well. Maybe. Or maybe not, who knows? Everything is in such a mess, if you ask me. Well, car manufacturing in the United Kingdom is going through a little bit of, a rough spell. Yeah, but don't worry, it's only teething troubles. Yeah, well, that's what they told us. Post-Brexit. It's only teething troubles. But as it, well, it's more like flipping gingivitis, if you ask me. Yeah. Well, I think we also have to, pick a bone, really, with Brexit. Because these troubles are Brexit related. It doesn't matter what she might say. You know, when I say she, I mean, that one. Well, should we listen? I think we should. Although, I don't think I've got any sound. Why have I got no sound? That's strange. Well, maybe I'll skip that one. Go back to that in a minute once I find what's going on with sound. Why haven't I got no sound? Let's have a look. Oh, that's why. It's off. Why is that? The audio disappears. There we go. Let's try again, shall we? I think so, because it's quite relative to what we want to talk about, really. Because Kimmy Baradoc, I think she's a flippin' lunatic. There you go. I said it. Yeah.
It's now been 100 days since we first welcomed the Right Honourable Lady to her new post.
Don't welcome her.
In that time, we've seen steel production fall to record lows. The automotive sector has issued warning cry after warning cry that government policy risks shipping jobs overseas.
What?
The US has seen incredible sums invested under the Inflation Reduction Act, and the EU has put forward its own significant response. Three of her predecessors from different political parties, each of them, have said the government needs an explicit industrial strategy. Does the current business secretary agree with them?
He is right to raise these things, but it is good for me to mention that there is a lot that we are doing in this space. For example, the issue that the automotive industries are talking about is around rules of origin. This is something that the EU are also worried about because the costs of the components have risen. This isn't to do with Brexit. This is to...
What? No! It's everything to do with Brexit. Because rules of origin state that we could be looking, well, if it's over 45% of the value of the vehicle, you're going to be imposing tariffs on the vehicle. Yeah, at least 10%. Could be more. You know what it's like when they say 10%, it ends up being 11% and 12%, and it multiplies down the line, you see. It's these electric cars especially are a bit of a problem because components can be, a majority of the value of the vehicle, such as the battery. Electric cars, they're batteries, you see. They're not AAAs, no. And they're not button cells either. No, they're big old battery packs. And they are literally the most expensive single item in any electric vehicle. I can't see that coming down anytime soon. Well, for her to say it's got nothing to do with Brexit is ridiculous, because if it wasn't for Brexit, we wouldn't have rules of origin, would we? I don't think so. No, remind me. I'm pretty certain we wouldn't have rules of origin. Yeah, my mic is on. Well, anyway, before I carry on with this, and I've got a few little clips I ought to show as well, but I'm going to just get my WhatsApp out. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. No, maybe that's for later. Yeah, I'll get rid of that one. Alright, pop the chat out. I'm going to try and keep it to an hour if I can, because I'm absolutely shattered today. Didn't get much sleep last night. I got a really bad back. Hello, who we got here? Got a few people here. Right. Starting from the top. Ruth. Hello, Ruth. Hope you're well. Oh, you got a notification. I'll make a change. My video this afternoon did really bad. Early evening did really bad. I was going pretty poor. But there you go. And Wim. Good evening, everybody. And, Mad Monk, hello, buddy. And he says, I was reading your comment a minute ago, actually. He says there are lots of spare catalytic, what's that? In Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Now, the car sales and production is going down. Now, the other thing is, we've got a bit of an issue in the United States as well, because, well, in the words of Elon Musk, he was saying, oh, well, the banks are going to the cemetery. Pretty much what was his words, to the cemetery. And as such, are not lending for new cars. So obviously Elon Musk is a bit worried about his Tesla. Yeah. Well, he also said, that it's immoral. It's immoral for you to work from home. And I thought, so how do you work that one out? And I thought, hang on. I know where he's going here. He's concerned, you see, about car sales again. If you're working from home and, say, for instance, you're living in London, you might think, well, I don't really need a car. You know? I used to got a car to go to work, Let's get rid of the car. Oh, there's no point in, clocking up the mile. Well, not clocking up miles, there's no need to change the car. Still low mileage, so they don't, and they don't buy a Tesla. That's what I reckon is, I think he's just having us on, quite frankly. Moral. It's immoral to work from home. That's ludicrous. Absolutely stupid. I understand that some industries require you to, when you work in the workplace, it makes sense, whether it be, bashing heads together and what have you, it was Jeremy and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, he was saying, well, what do they call it now? The water cooler moments. That's where all the brainstorming is done, is around the water cooler. Next will be dancing around their handbags or something like that. I don't know. You tell me. Well, the world's gone completely out of start raving bonkers. And it's Brexit. Yeah, it's screwed with people's brains. I think we should all be more worried about AI, to be honest. I reckon I won't be surprised within 10 years it's going to worry about 60 to 70% of pretty much all workplaces. Yeah. So it could be AI. The BT, British Telecom. Well, they just announced there's going to be a whole load of job losses. And over 10,000 jobs are going to be lost to AI. They're streamlining, you see. They'll say it's to provide a better service. That's about making more money, obviously. And don't worry about the water and the sewage and what have you. The water companies, they're going to be investing billions in infrastructure and all the Victorian pipework, even though the pipework isn't actually working because it's getting the poop into the rivers and seas. The problem is not necessarily the Victorian pipework, it's the fact they haven't actually been investing in the sewage works themselves. They're not cleaning the flipping water. No, there's turds everywhere. Oh, there's one. Look, police coffee. There she goes. Oh, blimey. What a turd. More like flipping Jabba the Hutt. Well, anyway, I digress. So anyway, we've got Vincent Brennan, Madbug 33, whatever, hi, and Guffery. Well, and Vincent Brennan. Hello there. Allshorts, did you see Newsnight last night? The part about Redcar Steelworkers redevelopment? No, I didn't actually. No, I was watching a lot of Newsnight and Question Time type stuff before. Well, Question Time's tonight, isn't it? But the problem is, when I can't nick the videos. I try, and then I get demonetised. Because it's called plagiarism, you see. It's like theft, copyright and that. Yeah, so I'll stop doing that. So annoying, it really was. Anyway, hello, Yankee, 55. Okay, bonsoir to you too. And 91 leads, and regularly, hey, I know that guy, he says. I know you too. I hope everything went okay for you. I say well, but okay for you the other day. I hope you're okay, mate. And Scotch Pie, hello there, Mr. Scotch Pie, and Doodle P. Dallas. I've got a couple of spanners. Hello, spanners. Well, oh, goody, doody, good do, and Sir Larry the Cat, hello there. Oh, goodly evenings, everybody's, and Verticu, and bicycles work just fine. Oh, but be careful. If you're planning to take your bicycle to Spain or France, or even Portugal, and places like that, whatever you do not ride them with your earphones in. No. You know why? They're going to fine you. Yeah. In Spain, you'll get a €200 fine. Yeah, latest news for you, just in case you're wondering. Yeah. I can't hear anything now. What was that? Well, anyway. Yeah. But in Portugal, I think it was in Portugal, they've been a little a little bit more relaxed on the rule. Yeah, yeah. As long as you've only got one in, you'll be fine. Yeah. Obviously, if you get on a bit and you're deaf in one ear and you've got it in the ear that you can hear and you can't hear nothing. No, you see. So what good is that? Anyway, so in Portugal you get fined €160. In Spain and I think France is about 160 as well. But in Spain it's €200 if you're riding with headphones on the push bike. Yeah, obviously it's very important. Yeah. I wonder how many accidents are caused by people on push bikes with. Don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty stupid, really, riding the bike with headphones on anyway, because you can't hear anything, can you? Or you hear a lot less. Although some headphones they got free, you can hear with. Do you know what I mean? They're free, but it's still dumb down your hearing, isn't it? Obviously. Anyway, Casper Northerner, hello there. Hope you're well. And Dave Blase, good evening all. Hope everyone is well. He says, yeah. Well, Vertigo, I will disappear suddenly. My iPad is updating itself, so it won't shut itself down unexpectedly. Oh, it might. Oh, it will. Okay. Well, okay. Well, we're waiting. Has it happened yet? And ahoy, says Sir Larry the Cat. Hello, ahoy, ahoy. And Mark's biggest fan. Hello, my friend. You're paying twice to drink water. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so you're going to be having to pay for all this new infrastructure, billions and billions and billions of pounds to upgrade the infrastructure, which you already kind of paid. Well, you have already paid for. They just collared the money. Yeah, they've been sapping it out, haven't they? They've been sucking the money out and putting it in their back pockets via shares and, share dividends and, bonuses. A bonus for what, though? Really? You should withdraw payment. Refrain from payment. Don't pay them. Especially for the sewage pool. Actually, don't pay me at all because the water isn't very good quality. My daughter did a test recently. She did another one about 3 weeks ago. No, I should have mentioned earlier, actually. But she did a test about 3 weeks. And it's high nitrates. Over the safe limits in nitrates. And that's tap water. And they tell you it's safe. Yeah, right. Well, so the thing is, though, you see, when you run a business, all right, and you have a limited company or a public company, you have shares, don't you? You know? You allocate your share allocation in your company. Even my little company that I had, we had share allocations. They were all mine. Well, anyway. So, the thing is, though, you see, before I can pay myself any shares, I have to make a profit. Normally, you have business expenditure, such as paying your rent, or, upgrading your machinery, or stuff like that. All comes out of your bottom line. Your profit is reduced because of it. It's called a profit and loss. Yeah. But unfortunately, with the water companies, that they've decided, we can increase our share dividend by not investing in the infrastructure, repairing what we're broken or worn up over a period of time. Well, that sounds like a bit of a con job if you ask me. But I know, got an idea. Let's make the people pay for it over the next 100 odd years. Yeah. Lovely. But like I say, if the flipping poop and the wee is getting out to the sea and into the rivers, those combined sewage outlets are always near the actual sewage treatment plants. The point is that if it's getting out to sea, which is further than the actual sewage treatment plants, obviously you could get the poop and the wee into the and obviously grey water as well, into the sewage treatment plant to be treated. It's not the pipe necessarily that needs infrastructure upgrade. It does need upgrade, don't get me wrong. But yeah, isn't necessarily the biggest problem. The biggest problem is actually the fact they're not investing in the plants, or they haven't invested enough in the actual sewage plant itself. The big wordy things that go around that and stirs all the poop up and that. Yeah, that. They haven't, instead of having like 4, they need like 8 or something stupid. Instead of just chucking it out to sea. Now, the combined sewage outlets, okay, I get them. I understand why they're there. In case of flooding and stuff. We got massive amount of rainfall. And it's not because it's going to come up through your flippin' U-bend. No. It'll come out through the drains, through the road drains before it comes up through your flippin' U-bends. That's silly. But, it's because the actual plants themselves can't cope with the volume. And that's generally speaking, that'll mainly be water that should be going out there if you have a flooding situation. and a few floaters, pink toilet paper maybe, occasional sanitary towel, you know, that sort of stuff. Jam rags. Sorry. Well, I need a beep. Beep. A swear button. I need a swear button. Yeah, or a poop button or something like that. Anyway, so you can't get away from the fact we do need to obviously invest in it, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is the plants themselves, and that is their infrastructure. You know, that's pretty much what they need to be doing, the water companies. But no. We'll just pump it out to sea. The surfers won't mind gurgling on a turd. 1, 2, or 3. Occasionally coli and dysentery. Maybe. You tell me. Sorry. Pro sewage, yes. Against fresh air. Oh, they'll be charging you for that next. Yeah. Feel like air rates. Well, that's kind of where we're going, because we're polluting everything, you see, so we have to get bottled air. That's what we'll have. Or you're biting like balloons, you know, hey, like helium. You know. Maybe. Or not. Anyway, check you out. Hello there. And very cute. Mark's fixing things you were contracted to invest in, yes, in the money that you have already paid. You paid a portion of your bill should be going to the infrastructure to upgrade it. Remember, population's increased. More money's been coming in. Wouldn't it make sense to actually... Okay, then. Okay, before it was that big, and now it needs to be that big. And we get more money anyway. Why haven't they done it? Because the shareholders want more money, and so do... Well, them who are getting the... I know that some of the bosses are so... Well, we're not going to take a bonus this year, they say. Yeah. Well, quite frankly, they shouldn't. And some of them will be flipping locked up, because I think this is theft, personally. That is. It's corporate theft. Is it corporate theft? Yeah. Not fit for purpose. No, actually. You know, if you go and buy something, let's say, for instance, you buy one of these electric cars we're going to talk about in a moment, and you buy one of these cars and the battery's no good, it's not fit for purpose. You've got rights, then, you see, and you can take the car back, or you take them to court, you don't want my money back. It's not fit for purpose. And it's exactly the same with these water companies. They are not fit for purpose. And it should be like Scotland. Okay, they do pump poop out into the rivers and seas, I know that, but not to the level... Well, they don't actually pump it, it just flows, really. We keep saying pumped, but it's not actually pumped. We're not pumping, it's called gravity. And, by volume. But in Scotland, yes, they do use CSOs, but it's used for the right reasons, and they've got a much lower out... because it's not privatised, and that's the problem. When you've got privatised companies, instead of these dividends, you think of all those dividends and bonuses that have been paid out, huge amounts of money been paid out, and these water companies, for what, really? Well, to feather their own nest, but instead that money could have been reinvested. We could have really shiny, you could have stainless steel pipes instead of rusty ones. Yeah, that's what we could have had. Need modular systems. Now, here in France, we have... Not in the cities and big cities and what have you, it's different. They have very similar sewage treatment systems that you have in the UK. But because it's very spread out, obviously, here in France, our commune, Ordre-sur-Ver, well, they have a reed bed system, and it serves the town and the local commune. So... Basically, yeah, it's laid with reeds, and just, simple. And it's earthy. Yeah, it's organic. Yeah, it reeds. It's green. Well, I don't know, like those funny wordy things obviously take energy and what have you and stink. And my friend used to work down at the Whittingham Sewage Works in Norwich. He used to be my yearly supply of tomato plants. Now, when you think about it, they're like, how to put it, the second-hand tomato plants. They've been eaten once already, or the seeds had. Yeah, because when you get the sludge in the sewage plant, it all builds up in the old sludge, horrible. You get when the season starts with the tomato plants, you get in your greenhouse and you've got all these round last year's tomato plants popping up everywhere. Well, that's what happens in the sewage plants. Instead, somebody's eaten them once already. It's just the seeds that have not been digested. I used to get so many tomato plants, and I admit they were excellent. You couldn't tell what they were. It could be any old tomato, you know. Yeah, probably just generally they're just like the wrong, you know, just plain old round tomatoes. No Crimea, nor you know, nor the creamy. Oh wait, you know, the black ones, which was my favourite. Anyway, where was I? Let's go for the chat. Oh, have you left me a present? I got a present. Oh, okay. I'm good. I'm losing my mind. I think I am. Oh, cheers, mate. Oh, thank you very much. Mark's biggest fan is done me a kind of super chat, but done it via GoFundMe. Yeah. Very, very kind of you, mate. Cheers. Thanks for that. I do really appreciate it, honestly, because there's no way I could carry on doing this without some help. I did get a job coming. I got a woodworking job to do. I'm making some shutters for a customer. So that was good, because it keeps my head above water. Well, it helps for a little bit. It's a couple of days. It's not a big job, but it's a job. Yeah. Oh, dear. Anyway. Oh, hello, Zach. Oh, poop. Oh, Zach, I'm in. And you probably won't be able to drive that British electric car in the EU. There is it's a valid point. But also, all right, what you should remember, though, Joa, is that it will be powered using British wind. According to Mr. Scully, yeah, Mr. Paul Scully, yeah, Paul Scully MP, he says something about British wind. I wonder if I can find that. That was just ridiculous. Where's Paul Scully's British wind? These people, I think they're loons. Absolute flippin' lunatics. They read. Oh, here we are. Let's find that one for you. For God's sake. Oh, God. Well, where is it? Hang on, where's it gone? Didn't I click on it? Oh, you idiot. I'm an idiot. No, not him. Not him. There you go. You know, I could probably find that really easy just by doing a little search. He's a flippin' lunatic. He really is. Oh dear. Okay. Not that one. Not that one. Is it that one? No, not that one. Oh, Gideon. I'll put British wind in. Yeah. Not any old wind, it's got to be British wind, okay? That's like English wind and... oh, here we go. This is just stupid. The man's a lunatic.
And this is the start of a building back greener. This is the start of 6,000 jobs in the UK using British jobs, British manufacturing, and of course British wind to power UK homes with renewable energy by 2030.
Oh, it's not French wind, or
this is the start of
Scottish and English wind
the start of
mixed together.
6,000 jobs
Ooh,
in the
it's
UK
a cocktail of wind.
British jobs, British manufacturing, and of course British wind to power UK.
It's a loon. What is it with these Tories? They come up with such rubbish. British wind. Oh my giddy aunt. So British wind will be powering the electric cars, you see. Provided they can get the electricity from maybe Scotland down into the south. If they obviously have to invest in infrastructure there, they'll expect you to pay for that as well, obviously. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, careful hello there. Even old Damon Green MP has been fondly recalling swimming in sewage in South Wales as a child. Yeah, yeah, he has. It just... There we go. I will get into the cars in a minute. I will. But this is just... It's phenomenal, really.
It's a problem. I'm not it in the local elections. Not particularly where I am, but I don't have a coastline. But yeah, no, it's a problem. I'm not absolutely not denying that it is a big issue, but it always has been. It's interesting. I mean, I remember as a child in South Wales,
swimming in sewage.
Swimming in sewage, absolutely. Oh yeah, Jackson's Bay in Barry used to be a sewage outlet where we all went and paddled and swam, and it was sort of regarded as acceptable. And of course, it wasn't acceptable, but that's
well, I remember
it in the local.
These people are stark raving bonkers. They really are. Absolutely bonkers. They run in the country. So he's pretty much endorsing it, right? Endorsing swimming in sewage as a child. Do you want your kids going out there swimming in sewage? Near a CSO, combined sewage outlets. That along with British Wind. What the hell? And then we've got Andrea Jenkins. Oh my God, she's been spouting more crap as well. Regarding the European Convention of Human Rights. She's trying to make out that's all to do with, she's being deceptive. Trying to make it out it's Brussels, you see. It's all to do with Brussels. It's all to do with the European Union. Oh! See, the thing is, people believe it, you see. They think, it's Europe. It's all the same thing. Yeah, the EU and, of course, the European Convention of Human Rights. And then you've got the European Court of Human Rights. It's not the European Court of Justice. No. But there she is. She's doing it. She's out there saying all this crap. What if she's giving it to the bird at the same time? Maybe. You remember her in her yellow dress, giving the bird as she's to the press. And those waiting outside calling their names. We expect better from politicians, really, and so we should. Brings me on to Angela Rayner, Tory scum. But she was right. That's just a statement of fact that it is. Balls! How about...
What a load of bollocks!
Sorry. Actually, toilet balls, I can even have that one. There you go.
I am a woman, and I don't have balls.
Thanks for that, Chris. His vote is worth the same as ours. God help us, yes. And he's dehinged, but would argue he's speaking for the masses. The problem is, he possibly is. What does it say about us? We're taken in by all this stuff. Just unbelievable, really, isn't it? I just find it. I just don't know anymore. To be honest, people need to wake up. They really do need to wake up. Disgusting, says Vertigo. As a kid, I used to swim in sewage. Lovely. It explains his cognitive dissonance. Maybe it's Dunning-Kruger effect or something like that. I don't know. Tribalism. Or something, But yeah. A lump or two, Damien, old chap. Oh, yes. Third, one or two. Once or twos. Or both at the same time. Maybe. Oh, chewy. Well.
What? I didn't have any corn.
No? Well, you have now. Well, there you go. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Well, anyway. God's sake. Oh, what? Did I just say right, Casper Northerner? Did you just write this? Casper Northerner just says there's an article in today's Guardian titled "Build Houses Out of Used Nappies. Scientists urge." Well, that sounds like a potential video right up my street. It really does. Probably no one else's, but probably mine. But anyway, that's a little bit strange. How can you build nappies out of nappies? Build houses out of nappies? It's like, it's going to be used nappies as well, isn't it? We know those things don't recycle, don't you? You can barely burn them. The flipping stuff inside, there's literally fiberglass. Unfortunately. So you end up, just end up with it's just crap. You can't have them with it. Yeah. Well, biodegradable nappies. Maybe biodegradable babies. Oh, you just got, Okay, no, don't go there. Do. Not water on the brain, but poo on the brain. Hello, gingers. Oh, nearly over, darling. No, I'm joking. Well, the car industry is, sadly, I'm not gloating on this because it's actually quite sad, really, because it's people's jobs and what have you, and people need money. And when you consider how things are changing, but not just with the population implosion and stuff like that, but with AI, and I think we're at quite a serious risk now, because I've been using AI for research purposes and stuff. I find it really useful. And since I started, it just keeps changing. Every day it seems there's something new, or it gets better and better and better. And it's just, I'm finding it a little bit frightening, actually. And then when you think how it can be incorporated in everyday life, and now you've got BT's just announced 10,000 jobs going to be gone because of it. And amongst other jobs as well, they're streamlining because their infrastructure say it's nearly up to scratch now regarding, the fibre and what have you, which requires a lot less maintenance than the old-fashioned wires and ADSL. And they're saying, well, we don't need so many people now. So they're going to start sacking people left, right, and flip and centre. But it won't be just them. No. You're going to find that across the board, all industries are going to start thinking, hang on, we can make more money because we've got to compete. They'll have no choice. They'll say, okay then, to keep us head above water, and so we can compete, we're going to have to be competitive. And to do that, they're going to take on, to start utilising AI. It's got to, I think we really, it's got to be legislated. But the problem with it is how do you legislate for the world? Because otherwise you're going to make yourself not competitive. And when you're talking about AI and people working from home now, it's kind of proved the point that you can distant work, work from a distance. So, like, for instance, we can start employing more people from Bangladesh and Pakistani people and what have you. And with all that, I've got a problem with that, obviously. But obviously, people want to keep their jobs. So, I find it a little bit concerning. I really do. And I think people's way of lives are going to change drastically. And you know what? I'm going to say it. UBI. I don't think we're going to have any choice. I really don't. But the thing is, when people don't go to work, we have less, actually physically go to a workplace, we have less need for services. Whether it be bus services, whether it be, a barista, coffee person. And also maintenance of the streets and stuff like that, but less wear and tear, blah, 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 and that kind of goes on and on and on. Before you know it, we have a lot less need for anybody. It might be quite handy considering we haven't got enough people. But there again, it's a tricky one, isn't it? It's a tricky one. So yes, talking about cars again. Get back on track, Marcus, yeah. The German... Oh, there's pesky Germans! Well, Mini. Car makes Mini. Now, I don't remember a while ago, but they said that they were not going to be leaving the United Kingdom because, the future is bright. Post-Brexit. For the Mini, yeah. Well, actually, some of them, for the electric Mini, that is. Not the other Minis, no, just the electric Mini. But, unfortunately, since then, they've said otherwise. Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So, Richie Sunak's been on... He's been playing whack-a-mole, actually. He's been buzzing around all over the flipping place at the moment, trying to mitigate their Brexit, it seems. Yeah. Well, his friends in the Conservative Party on the right of the party are conspiring amongst themselves to, put themselves, it's a bit like a pageant. They're trying to promote themselves. You've got Stu Ellen Braverman. Oh dear, can you imagine her as Prime Minister? That's a scary, scary, scary thought. Who would vote for her? Honestly, really? We're better off sticking with the devil that the Tory party has lost. They've already lost the next general election. I don't think there's any doubt there, to be honest. But changing a leader again, I think that's for the dim birds, and it's just no. It ain't gonna work. No. And especially with somebody like Sue Ellen Braverman or any of them on the far right, so many people wouldn't entertain them unless, obviously, a racist and a bigot. Yeah. And I know, Sue Ellen Braverman's black. That doesn't make any difference with this lot. No. They just want to pull up the drawbridge. That's all they want to do. So, a while back, I can find it. If I can find it. Oh, there we go. I found it. There. 6 months old. 6 months ago, this was. Yeah, it was over 6 months old, actually. This one's BMW to axe UK production of the electric Mini and relocate to China. But after that, after a bit of intervention, what have you, they then said, oh no, they're going to be safe in the United Kingdom. But not now. No, after Stellantis, who's like Peugeot and Vauxhall and what have you, said that, well, I know, I don't think this is going to work, is it? No, with rules of origin and all that, and the new rules that come in at 45% next year. Yeah, I think really we need to put pressure on the government and say to them, well, we want that postponed. But that's not up to the UK government to get it postponed. No. It's the EU. What power have we got over the EU now? We haven't got that seat at the table. We cut ourselves off at the knees. That's what we've done. Welcome to the Brexit, sir. Well, let's be fair. Nigel Farage, he came clean, he did. Yeah, he said this.
A poll from last month showed that this is a general Brexit question. 53% of people say it was wrong to Brexit. That was a poll last month. Around 1 in 5 Leave voters regret it. The OBR forecasts a 4% hit to the economy over the medium to long term.
Don't make me laugh on that.
Hang on, that's 40 billion in tax revenues. The UK economy is the only G7 economy not back to its pre-pandemic size. Business investment has lagged behind comparable economies. Economically, the UK would have been better staying in, wouldn't it?
I don't think that for a moment. But what I do think...
Based on all that?
But what I do think is we haven't actually benefited from Brexit economically, what we could have done. I mean, what Brexit's proved, I'm afraid, is that our politicians are about as useless as the commissioners in Brussels were. We've mismanaged this totally. And if you look at simple things such as takeovers, such as corporation tax, we are driving business away from our country. Arguably, now we're back in control, we're regulating our own businesses even more than they were as EU members. Brexit has failed.
For you then?
Well, I wouldn't rule it out. It's not top of my bucket list, but frankly, we've not delivered on borders, we've not delivered on Brexit. The Tories have let us down very, very badly.
A poll from last month showed that...
Brexit was not going to work, but Anne Widdecombe... Okay, Anne Widdecombe said, and obviously she's a very, very bright... something you've got to roll back into the sea. But anyway, Anne Widdecombe, she said, it's not that Brexit is a failure. It's because how we've implemented Brexit is a failure. That's what she said. Yeah. Oh, God's sake. That woman. Oh, my God. She's another one, isn't she? Ain't we lucky? Stick to the dancing. Oh, God, no, maybe not. You break your back. Oh, my giddy aunt. I'm doing the lift. Oh, God. That's quite an accurate replay, actually. I just fell off my ledge. Yeah. So Brexit is a failure. Oh dear, poor little Brexiters, they must be so unhappy. Yeah, unfortunately everyone has to suffer as a result. Because Brexit is most definitely a failure. But we knew about this. From day one, we knew. We were warned by the flippin' Brexiters themselves. Now just a little reminder, because you might have seen this clip already, because it's quite an old clip. And it was, Rory Stewart. Remember Rory Stewart? Little old scrawny Rory Stewart. Was he in Afghanistan or something? You know, the bullets never hit him because the target was like that. Paper thin. It was like, yeah. But if anything, he's one of the more sort of genuine Tories. If you're into the Tories, that is. Yeah, never kiss a Tory. Don't do it. No, lefty boater, don't do it. No, we know you have. Well, Patrick Minford, he was being asked by Rory Stewart. You've probably seen this already. There's a distinct possibility you may have done. But I think it's worth, considering everything that's going on, just to refresh ourselves. Refresh ourselves? Was it deodorant? No, I mean, refresh our memories. That's what I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. There you go. That is Patrick Minford. Oh, ain't he? No, he's not. He's an ass. And this is Rory Stewart there. But anyway, he's asking Patrick Minford, that's him. Yeah, I mean, that's him. About Brexit and the UK car industry in 2012.
Is it not conceivable that what you're really talking about is essentially the collapse of the entire UK car industry?
Oh, yes.
Leave the European Customs Union and go directly into competition with Asian car manufacturers. This transitional arrangements is just a polite way of describing the wiping out of the manufacturing industry. And how's that going to be explained to a public and a political class that are increasingly proud about the development of this kind of manufacturing industry in Britain?
Well, I think that it's perfectly true that if you remove protection of the sort that has been given in particular to the car industry and to other manufacturing industries inside the protective wall, you have got you're going to have a change in the situation facing that industry, and you are going to have to run it down, and it will be in your interest to do it just in the same way that we ran down the coal industry and the steel industry. These things happen as evolution takes place in your economy, and
what evolution?
In the long run, they're in your interest.
Evolution.
But you have, of course, to deal with the compensation problems along the route. You know, it won't be a process that can be entertained without some form of compensation. But that's, as I've said, reform always requires compensation. You can't do anything that involves, changing relative prices long term that doesn't involve some form of compensation for political reasons. John Brown.
I hate him. He also said he talked about the farming industry as well. He's saying that we're going to run that down like we did with the coal industry. That's what he said. Patrick Minford, Tory economist. He was always the one that they turned to because, well, he just chanted what they wanted you to hear. Unfortunately, people believed him. They got sucked in by him. And the rest of the Tories, and the likes of Nigel Farage. Anyway, back into the chat. Oh, we're going back to the chat. Don't fall over, and I'll try not to. And there he did. Fell off my ledge. Yeah, because my floor's not very even in here. I need a new floor in this studio here, my office here, and it's it dips in the middle. So I have to create a platform. This area corner here, it's got a flat floor, just this bit, but it's got a ledge. You fall off it with wheels on your trolley, on your chair. Anyway, get a match, light your farts. Oh, please. Oh, it could be fun. Very good. Hello, very good. That is because the Swiss deal, a patchwork UK deal, will not be renegotiated. No, unlikely. And the thing about the Swiss deal is they're constantly loggerheads with the EU. They're never happy. No, they always want to renegotiate something. It's like it's a moving thing, and it's almost like a moving goalposts as well. Hello, Esther Witt. I hope you're well. Hope you're well, Susan. Hope the family's good. Did you? The more I hear and see the Tory party, I can't help but think they're transplants from a Dickens novel. 1984, anyone? Maybe. Yeah, more than something like that. All well. Crikey. A police state. That's what we're heading for, it seems. After what we saw at the coronation. Scroll down, just saying hello there. See you there, buddy. Good questions. Humans are quite predictable after all. Cambridge Analytica played us like a fiddle. Using Ocean. Yes, they did. Certainly did. And we had this woman here.
I am a woman, and I don't have balls.
Well, she was working for Cambridge... Alex Phillips, in case you're wondering. And she was working for Cambridge Analytica. And she denied it. She did. She said, I have never worked for Cambridge Analytica. And if you print that, that's libel. And then shortly after, she got caught on telephone conversation, recorded, saying that I worked for the Cambridge Analytica. Okay, work that one out. All of these people, they get away with it. They end up being, nominated. See, this is the thing about, for instance, Reform UK. They don't care. You think even though they're right-wing nut jobs, you think even maybe they would make sure they got people who are squeaky clean. That you can't ridicule, that you can't pull apart. You need clean people. Okay, Labour's got Starmer. And a donkey field. They couldn't even get Moncurry Gate. No, yeah, the curry. The lockdown. Oh dear, shocking. But I was after some work. It was allowed, you see. Yeah. But they tried, didn't they? Just to undermine Keir Starmer and try to justify their party gates, which is now costing the UK taxpayer about £245,000 worth of legal fees for Boris Johnson. Alexander Boris the Feffel Johnson, the blonde Boris mutant variant. But yeah, apparently that's okay. Yeah. We're so stupid. This is Guy Fawkes stuff, this is. Need the Republic to go in there. This time it'll be success. Well, yeah. We know where they live. Oh, maybe. Oh, dear. I'm not trying to incite violence here, just so you know, all right? Don't do that. No. Or maybe. Oh, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. Yeah. So Patrick Minford is a scumbag. He is. Oh, the deformed party. Well, they have got Anne Widdecombe. Well, they have. Well, she's rather deformed. Ooh. Well, they roll her in and out occasionally, whenever they want to hear her squeaky voice. Oh, I can't talk, yeah. Not that Brexit has failed. It's that we've implemented Brexit. It's failed. She goes. She's a lunatic. Oh dear. 1984, says P. Dallas, was the soft version of the corrupt Tory totalitarian police state. I think it was supposed to be a warning, but in fact, they've used it as a manual. Well, the letter's superheroine. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh, she's. Remember when Liz Truss went to Russia and she got confused about her seas? Not the letter C's, the seas as in the masses of water. Well, and then oh crikey, Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister for Russia, he called her a flippin' idiot, pretty much. Yeah, well, he literally did call her an idiot. Stupid, a moron. And now we got her going to Taiwan and China's doing the same. Oh, but what happened when she went to have a meeting with Sergei Lavrov? With her robotic style that she was. 2 weeks later, they invaded Ukraine. So I wonder if 2 weeks' time, maybe, Taiwan will get invaded by China. Because China's been kicking off and saying that she's a flippin' idiot. There seems to be some precedents here. Maybe. Well. The world's gone complete and utterly bonkers. I think I have as well. Does it to you, you know, following this type of stuff constantly. Oh. I do thank those who send me stuff and what have you, just to keep my, actually, what's been going on and what have you. Because P. Dallas, he like on Twitter and what have you, people, they tag me and what have you, and I don't always obviously reply, but I do read them and stuff, so it's good to keep your head. Yeah, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, it's handy. Just like someone said earlier about making houses out of nappies. Yeah, that sort of thing. God's sake. How can you make a house out of a flipping nappy? You got to make them into some sort of block. I suppose like cinder blocks are made from like scrapings out of what is it now? Power stations or something, isn't it? You know, it's like burnt coal or something there. The old breeze blocks, the old cinder blocks with little black bits inside. Well, anyway, you stopped it early. She said, "I don't have balls, but I've got balls." I know, but that was kind of like she's kind of. It's just from the sound bites. I don't want them too long because they're just sound bites. Yeah, that's the whole point, you see.
I am a woman and I don't have balls.
I could do the next bit for you though. Oh, but I have balls. Yeah, a bit like that, but in an Alex Phillips type voice, not my kind of voice. The deformed party, that they are. Lying about lying is a double negative, so she was right? Okay, Mark's his biggest fan. Vendetta says, what did he say? What is up there? Something up there. Oh, I see number 3 as well. Oh, the number 3. That's what we need. A fart lighting channel. Oh, could that be fun? I don't actually fart much, to be honest. No. Or do I? I don't think about it, I just do it. I don't know about you. You can hear, you see, because I don't see many people. So I haven't got a clench. No. Just let it go. It's just like a constant leak. Just slow. Does anyone... What? Does anyone as a pet troll? Or have a pet troll? What? Troll? As in trolls, as in online trolls. I used to have pet trolls and that. But that, since Mad Monk 33 and P Dollars are helping us out, then my trolls have disappeared. Thank you. No more sex trolls. Bots. Hello, do sex machine. Ooh. Is that like double sex? That'd be nubular sex, maybe. Very simple. No chain supply, no production. Yep. And we don't have just in time. No, there's no just in time. And one of the problems that car manufacturers are having is that they have to, they've got to store. They've had to invest in parts. And instead of actually, it comes across the channel and then into the car. It comes across the channel, or like for instance, maybe 1,000 of them, or 2,000 or 3,000 items, and they get stuck in the stores. So you have a huge amount of money stuck in bits, just sitting there. Yeah, waiting to be used. Just because you haven't got just-in-time supply. It's not very helpful, no. And so you've got warehousing and all that sort of stuff you've got to pay for to be able to store this stuff, and a massive amount of money tied up in bits. A massive amount of money. Obviously, it's not very helpful for the car industry. The other thing is, when things change, instead of just saying, okay, we don't want any more of them, and you don't get any more, you don't pay for any more, you've got to think ahead. And that's not always the case. Maybe, I don't know, you found this part isn't that great and you're going to, you redevelop it or something. You're going to have a whole load of bits and what have you. Let's say, for instance, you had, when they recall a vehicle or the brakes don't work or something stupid because, the calipers are not calipering or whatever it might be. There might be a problem with a caliper. Well, you've got to get rid of all the old calipers that you've got in your store that you've been stocking up on because you've got these new ones coming in. So it's money just wasted. It's just a risk. It's constant risk all the time. It doesn't make much sense. No. Especially when industry has been developed around just-in-time supply chain and then you've got to try and change it. Your poor wife? You talking about my poor missus? Oh, you talking about my farts? Constant. Oh dear, I forgot. Yeah. She ain't here though at the minute. No. Yeah, she's looking after our little grandchild. We've got another little grandson. There's, got 10 now. And my other daughter, who was on this channel before me last year, she's, that was last summer. And now she's pregnant. Be 11. Oh my God. Scary. Babies everywhere. Wherever you look, there's babies. Oh, baby back ribs. Oh. Don't I'm not going to eat them. No. Hello, fly-by-wire or fly-by-wire. Always enjoyable listening to who? What, me? Oh, God, no, don't do it. Don't listen to me. I'm a flippin' nutter. I can't help it. I don't know. I have to keep myself sane, you see, because the world has gone completely and utterly bonkers. And it is. Oh, do you know what I noticed? Oh, okay. Now, see this chair I'm sitting on? You can't see it, because I'm trying to hide up the butcher's apron. Oh, okay, there you go. There's the butcher's apron. It wasn't by choice. No, okay? I didn't go out there. Oh, look, there's a chair with a butcher's apron. It looks like, what, this particular chair is a Herman Miller. And in Question Time, all those chairs that they sit on in Question Time, they're Herman Millers, the same as this one. And Herman Miller Aeron, yeah. Got the first song idea. I was really pleased with myself. Apart from the fact that it's got a butcher's apron on it. Didn't want the butcher's apron. But there you go. I can cover that up, I suppose. It's a comfortable chair, and a good job in all, because I've got a really bad back at the minute. Maybe because of that, it's because I've got a bad back. Working in the garden is probably what it is. Trolls are worthwhile, their arguments aren't, but can stop echo chambers. That's a valid point, actually. Mark's biggest fan has just had a very valid point that the trolls, or people with a different point of view, are a good idea. And I do try and encourage them on my channel. Sometimes I have to get rid of some of them, because some of them, if they start verging on racism and stuff like that, I don't want to know. Get off. Go away. And, but no, that's very true. If, for instance, if you've got the same people, obviously the people who might follow my channel, you nuts, and follow this channel, well, you get in your own echo chamber and you listen to, you're just agreeing with yourself all the time. It's good sometimes to have a spanner and chuck a spanner into the works. And I don't mean P. Dallas or Madnock 33, no. I mean, just to stir things up a little bit, because it creates, it creates activity on the channel as well, to be fair, because people respond to it. But as long as it's not racist or just nasty, do you know what I mean? You get some real idiots sometimes. And then I'll just hide them, so they're not bubble. They think they're talking to them, they're all the people around them, but they're not. They're just hidden. They're talking to themselves, basically. You know, yeah, they think they're being clever, but they're not. But anyway. Be careful, man, because sometimes the silent ones are the worst. We're talking about farts still. I think we are. Oh, dear. I've got a delay, isn't there? There is a delay. Yeah, forgot about that. Trolls are funny, especially the inept ones. Oh, yes. And there's a chap that must be on his 7th reincarnation and is unable to change his methods. Must be a Brexiter. Yeah, very true. And you do get some people, you can recognise them, even though they've got different handles, different names. You can recognise they're just saying pretty much the same stuff. And there's a possibility they're not even real people, There's that possibility. If it has a jack, put it back. Oh. There are very few worthwhile points from them, I agree. Just the usual, you lost, get over it stuff. Oh, God, you do get that so much. You really do the same mantra. It's just... Sometimes it gets tiring, to be honest. Okay, whatever. But sometimes I think to myself, well, I'm not even going to respond to it. And if it was, what's no point? It's just, they haven't done any harm. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, they're not being nasty. So that's fine. That's fine. Sabine Nadal. Hello, Sabine. Hope you're well. There is a documentary on Genghis Khan at the moment on the Franco-German channel, Art. I watched it yesterday. I might have to see that. I do like Art. It's really good. Providence translated these. All right. They did a really good one actually on the fishing industry a while back. Anyway, I was supposed to be going about the cars. I digressed again, didn't I? I just, my mind's all over the flipping place. Something wrong up there. I'm sure there is. I'm sure the Brexiters will say that, but let them say what they like. I don't care. No, too long in the tooth. That I am. Get called all sorts of names. When I first started this channel, they used to ask me if I got any hair under my hat. Yes, I got hair. I just choose to wear a hat. I like a hat. I always wear a hat. I just do. It's just what I always have. And I shave all my hair off because I'm a woodworker. It gets covered in dust. And I just chuck my head in the barrel. Because I can. You see, because I've got a barrel with water in it. Clean water. Come from the sky. Without acid rain. Yeah, I hope it is Anyway. So, the German mini car makers... Not real minis, by the way. No. They're joining the chorus of voices demanding for change. They are. Want change, yeah. They're going to make the car smaller. No, of course not. No. Because they're not really a mini. Yeah, you're not going to get that. Well, you probably get the whole Beatles. No, probably not, actually. But you get all the Beatles in the mini? Or was that a telephone box? I can't remember that. Anyway. Well, they're demanding change to the trade deal. Well, they can demand as much as they like. It's only going to happen if, for instance, the EU says, OK, then we'll talk about it. But why would they talk about this? They might talk about it, but why would they change it? They spent a lot of time negotiating this. Why would they change it? Where's the benefit for the European Union? Now, if you want negotiation, you've got to have something to offer. What have we got in the UK got to offer regarding the rules of origin? I don't know what we've got. That door does swing both ways, mind. But saying that, many industries in the EU decide it's not worth the candle to supply the UK anymore. It's just too much hassle. Now, I know, they're not checking at the borders, why does it matter? But when you export from the EU into the United Kingdom, there are rules. They've got to collect the taxes, for the VAT for a start, in the EU for the UK Treasury. So, that's not worth the aggro. So they've actually got to have a VAT number in the EU for the UK to be able to sell into the UK. Who's going to do that unless, there's a massive amount of money to be earned? And if the profit margin isn't there anymore, why would you do it? You're not going to, are you? And many industries have decided, no, we're not going to do it. Even him from Star Trek, Captain Kirk, who went up in, that spaceship. What was it, Blue's Origin or whatever it was called, yeah. With him from Amazon. Well, Captain Kirk. James T. Kirk. I know it's not his real name, but there you go. Anyway, he went up in that spaceship and he said, well, we sell memorabilia and stuff, Star Trek and all that sort of stuff. And he said, well, we're no longer sell it into the UK anymore. So they said, sod ya. So it's not just EU businesses, there's businesses elsewhere as well. This is all to do with Brexit. The thing is, the UK was used as a route into the EU. It was a stepping stone an English-speaking stepping stone. They can say that. You've got Ireland, I suppose. Who is that? But the UK losing out big time. And now they're losing out in the motor industry. The risk is there that they are likely to move out of the United Kingdom. And they did warn us. Like I said, that's that meeting with Patrick Minford. And now Brexit is biting us all in the flippin'... Well, it's been biting me in the flippin' ass ever since it started. Well, I think the chickens are coming home to roost now, though. So, let's get this straight, shall we? You know? We've got the Germans and the champions of engineering, efficiency, precision. And they're now saying, oi, Brexit, you've made a right mess of things. That's what they're saying, haven't you? And now they're threatening to leave the UK. Otherwise, they're going to, you know, at the very least, put a whopping 10% at least on top of the price of a car. Well, a 20 grand car, that's £2,000. Straight away. On top, straight £2,000. Well, you're pricing yourself out of the market as well by being too expensive. You've really got to want it. You've got to just throw away another £2,000. Especially when, well, money is tight. Especially when we've got, like Elon Musk was saying, people working from home and what have you. Well, then, quite frankly, there's going to be less cars sold. You know, he is right about that. In that, well, actually, no, that's not what he said. He was trying to make out it was immoral. But I know exactly what he meant. Well, in what he meant is I know what was going on in his head. He just wants to sell cars. And when people work from home, then he's going to sell less cars. So he's just looking at whatever ways that he can kind of encourage the car market to expand, to sell more cars. Now, I don't know about you, though. When I think of German cars, I think of sleek, shiny, precision engineered, like Mercs and BMWs, etc. Yeah, not the Mini. No, that thing. What is it about the rear headlights? They've got stupid Union Jacks in them. What's that about? Butcher's apron. No wonder, that's one way of cutting off your Scottish market. I'm not buying one of them. And you can order the car. You can order that little Mini without them in the rear headlights. They charge it £400 or £600? No, £400 I think it is to actually have different rear lights. So you don't have the butcher's apron if you don't want them. It's nuts. So all these promises, all the Brexiters and what have you, well, they're evaporating one after the flip another. It's all just going to thin air, isn't it? Now, they told us that the EU would give us back our control. Make us all independent and all that, they said. Independent, isolated, I would say. Well, it's about time they walked the walk. Well, there's nothing to walk on. It's all gone. We're cut off at the flipping knees. And Brexit was, they said it's going to bring us all these amazing trade deals. Well, congratulations. It seems that we traded a harmonious partnership, because that's what it was. A peace project as well. With the European neighbours for a bunch of angry Brexiters. Yeah. Lovely. But don't worry. You shouldn't worry. Because David Davis, he said this. Oh, you might have seen it. You might already know, but he did say this. Yeah. Back in 2020. When the trade deal was, they're trying to negotiate the oh, there you go. There you go.
Brexit happens. The chief executives of Volkswagen, BMW, Audi, Mercedes. And Mercedes. I know you've got one. You've got to know.
Look at her face.
You're
talking bollocks.
They'll all be queuing up, saying we've got to have access for our 16 million,
all right,
16 billion market.
What do you say to that?
I think it's pie in the sky, frankly. And I know David
This is Dame Beckett.
was Europe Minister at one time, but I've had a bit of experience.
Margaret Beckett.
Myself. Over something like 10 or 11 years of intense negotiation, both on agriculture.
How long was he there for?
And I just think, don't give me, if I can say so with some modesty, I do quite pride myself on my negotiating skills and track record. Don't give me a brief like that.
Look at
it. The risks are huge.
Yeah, aren't we saying that?
None.
What's interesting, the day after Brexit.
The day after Brexit. Oh, they're all going to come. The German car manufacturers are all going to come to our rescue. No, they're not. They're going to bugger off. back into the EU. Now, someone mentioned in one of the comments yesterday. I mentioned earlier actually in one of my videos as well. But anyway, mentioned in the comments about about why would Vauxhall leave the UK? Because it's kind of like it's a UK brand. They've got Opel, which is pretty much the same cars. It's rebadged to the Vauxhall, isn't it, in the UK? So why would they move to the EU? Well, the thing is, what remember is that these parts, like they were saying about the Mini, for instance, they reckon the cylinder head of the Mini goes across that channel about 4 times or 3 or 4 times before it ends up in the car. Is that Ellesmere? No, what Ellesmere was it? What plant is that now? Ooh, for Mini. Ooh, anyway, it goes backwards and forwards, but that applies to nearly all the flipping parts. Many of the parts, obviously the parts that end up in the production line are actually produced in the EU. Well, some parts are produced in the EU, then they're maybe refined in the UK and backwards and forwards. But that trade's been lost. These factories that build these cars, they don't necessarily make the components. They're just really assembly plants, really. That will be done by AI soon and robots. I know there've been robots at the moment, but I mean with AI as well. And then they're going to become sentient. And then they'll make the Terminator. The Terminator will be built in the Mini factory. Then things exporting might be a bit of a problem because of the 45% rules of origin, 10%. Oh yeah, all that. Okay, well, so the Trading Corporation Agreement has brought us these rules of origin. A whole load of flipping bureaucracy. It's enough to make your flipping head spin faster than Jacob Rees-Mogg in a flipping roundabout, maybe. Yeah. TCA, Trading Corporation Agreement. You remember that? Oh, what was it again? Oh, let me think about it. That was it. Remember that?
You got an oven-ready deal. Put it in the microwave.
It's as oven ready as getting out that turkey out the freezer the day before Christmas. That's how oven ready it is. Still flipping frozen. Ooh. Oh. The Trading Corporation Agreement, that flipping oven-ready deal was supposed to be like a beacon of our post-Brexit prosperity. But it turned out to be more of a damp squib, or dare I say it. Well, maybe it's even worse than a jam rag. Maybe. Oh, God, chewy. Nasty. Oh. Don't put them down the toilet. No, don't do it. Some people still do. Not me, obviously. No, I don't do that. No, I've had the menopause. Anyway, so now we're faced with the possibility of the iconic Mini, the lovely little Mini. Now it's like the lovely bigger Mini. Well, I'm not that keen on them. They look weird to me. I don't like them. I don't mind the Clubman, though. I quite like the Clubman. It reminds me of... It resembles... It's like like the older Clubman, but it's on steroids. Like everything's bigger. Why does it have to be bigger? The whole point of the Mini is it's small. One of them little Citroen cars, one of them little Citroen electric cars. That's what you want. You park them sideways, they're that small. And you don't know which is the front or the back. They're like little blunt things. I can't remember what they're called now. Oh, leave it in the chat. Well. Oh, this is like Brexit-induced chaos. Ah! Do you know what it's like? I'll tell you what it's like. It's like watching a bunch of clowns. Playing... What's that game with the block? Oh, Jenga. Yeah, with our economy. And surprise, surprise, everything is falling down. Well, it's a bit like that film with Michael Douglas. Is it Michael Douglas? Yeah, Michael Douglas. Yeah, falling down. I love that film. Yeah. Anyway. But fear not, my fellow Brits. Oh God, I had to put that. Oh, sovereignty. No, we haven't. We've pretty much palmed that. Well, we bartered it. Every trade deal you make with other countries, instead of just one entity with all these different countries, you've got this kind of broken up sovereignty. You give away elements of your sovereignty every time you sign up a trade deal, especially when it's one-sided. Australia's got a population around 20-odd million, the UK's got a population around 67-odd million, yet we end up with a trade deal that's worth diddly squat. 0.1% over 15 years or some crazy stupid amount like that. What's the point? Is it just saying, wave our little flags, our little plastic flags? We just stole off some kid's flippin' sandcastle. Just like, ooh. Yeah, maybe. Oh, it drives me absolutely bonkers, it does. Bonkers! Yeah. At least we can stand proud, because we've got our sovereignty back. We're paying a premium for it, that we are. And now you're going to be paying a premium for that point-sized car. After all, who needs a Mini when you can have a maxi price instead? Maybe, or a maxi pad. Anyway, either way. Oh, leave the microphone alone. Well, taking something quite small, and making it a whole load bigger, except when it comes to obviously the benefits of Brexit, because I ain't none. I think we're doing quite well, aren't we? Yeah. Bigger chaos, bigger problems, bigger cost, bigger red tape. Still trying to work out the benefits of Brexit. For a brief moment, I was thinking to myself, benefit of Brexit. Nigel Farage is going to finally leave the United Kingdom. Maybe go to Germany, sorry. Well, but no. He ain't gone yet. No. He's still there. Because he's got his little gig on GB News, probably. Dare I do it?
Nigel's a model, you know what I mean.
Sorry, Mark's a biggest fan, but you didn't say.
On the catwalk, yeah, he does his little turn on.
Oh, ain't I naughty?
Too sexy for my cat, too sexy for my cat. Poor pussy cat. Oh, too sexy for my love, going to leave me.
Oh, wasn't that lovely?
You.
Oh my Gideon, the world's gone completely, utterly bonkers. No, actually just the UK. Well, actually, no, the world. Well. Oh, back into the chair, Kool-Aid and Thomas. Oh, sewage and fish. Oh. At least they are.
Now British fish, and they're better and happier fish for it.
Oh, aren't they? I don't think so. They're swimming in poop. That they are. So Suriname, oh that's it, the little Nordic car, that's the one, that's Suriname. There's one that it's always parked up in Saint Juan here in France. I actually quite like them. I think they're quite cute. I don't think they go very far though on a charge. I think they're quite very low range. But you also got the Par Permet, which is like if you think of the little Axiom, do you know the little Axiom car, the little diesel single cylinder? I think you can drive them on a motorbike licence in the UK. And we've got them here, but they're Par Permet, which basically means no licence. You can drive them without a licence, but they don't go very quick. But they are a little car. And it was really ridiculous though. They do them in all sorts sporty models of them and stuff. They're all they look really cool, all sporty and all that until you start them up and they sound like a lawnmower. Yeah, I'm sure they could do something about that noise that they make. It literally sounds like a lawnmower, like a ride-on lawnmower. They sound like a little single-cylinder ride-on lawnmower. Tractor. They literally, that's what it sounds like, a tractor. Can't they put a decent silencer on it? Anyway, it's silly. I know what I'd do. I'd have a bucket of water and have the water going in, the exhaust going into the bucket of water, so it's blah, 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 instead. Look at the sound cool. Well. Oh, hello, who? Hope you're well. You made any videos in your bed recently? No, not that kind of video. No. Do. So, no helmet, e-bike ride. Oh, well, yeah. Don't forget. Just to remind you all, just in case you knew, and just come on. Don't forget, no riding your bikes in Spain wearing headphones. You get €200 fine, €200 fine now. And I think it's €160 fine in France and about similar sort of amount in Portugal. Except in Portugal, you can get away with just wearing one. Yeah. Okay. Just so you know. Just warning you. There you go. Don't tell you anything. Right. Make it stop. Says Turner. Are you talking about Nige? Oh, Nige. Sorry. I'm evil. Oh, it's more environmentally friendly to keep the old existing car on the road than build a new one. Very true. Then buy a new one, or build a new one, including electric. And it really depends on how many miles you're doing as well. If you're like me, I don't do any miles. I literally, the car hasn't been out for 7 days. I haven't been anywhere. I've been walking places, but I haven't been anywhere. No. So, what sense as diesel and what have you? And I know it's right-hand drive still, but what point is there me changing it? The only time we use it is if we maybe go to the shop or San Juan or something, or take Caroline to the airport. That's about it. We don't really need a car, but we do need a car because we're very isolated here. We're kind of miles away from everywhere. Countryside, rolling hills and valleys. Oh, it's lovely. And ticks. And lots of ticks. Came back from a walk tonight. I picked off about a dozen ticks off Sebastian. I don't know if it's about Sebastian. He's white. And they seem to see him. And they jump. All they do is walk up his legs or something. Whereas Pandora, and they're combing through Pandora, and you get hardly any, and she's black. And you think maybe it's just because I can't see them. But no, it's just because they don't seem to go. Maybe she's pongy. I don't know. Oh, well, the clip ended. Any in the mood? Oh, yeah, you don't want any of that. No. God, that's one way to dampen down the your sex life. Yeah. Oh, crikey. Nigel Farage. Can you imagine that? Oh, he's awful. Anyway, Jewett says, Marcus, I had an excellent dinner, and you went and made me nauseated with that frogtage. Sorry. Well, the country is distressing and depressing and proof positive, and the masses of people can be utterly delusional, says number 3. Yes. And many people still are, because they can't accept it's a mistake. Many people have woken up and they've said, okay, I think we've been hoodwinked here. Many people have. Loads of people have, in fact. Thankfully, sanity is starting to find its way to the surface, but there's still those still chanting their Brexit. I just want my Brexit. Yeah. Oh, it's not because Brexit is a failure, it's because how we've implemented Brexit is a failure. Such as Anne Widdecombe, for instance, and other numpties, and Nigel Farage and what have you. Blame everybody else, and not the fact that Brexit is broken and always going to be broken, and it's written into its DNA. Yeah. Oh, there. Send over the Irish dancing instead. What, the river dance? Maybe. Look. Tappity toes. Little clogs. Bit odd. The other one, is river dance a bit like Morris dancers? Is it a bit like that? You sort of like clunk the sticks and stuff. No? Is that what it's like? No? We just kind of stand weird and just... Oh, alright. Okay. Maybe. Oh, Mark's biggest fan. Remember invisibility vehicles, the freewheelers. Oh, and you got Oh, there's little blue ones. Can you remember them little fiberglass little things that look like they roll over, a bit like the Reliant Robin. Go around the corner and you're on 2 wheels instead of 3, and then they're on your roof. Some people used to call them a plastic pig. Yeah. Oh, there's a clip actually on YouTube where those are on these little Amy's actually going around the bend and rolling over. That red doggy is influenced by Nigel. Oh, what red doggy? The dog is beside, still sleeping. No, all my dogs are sleeping at the minute. If you talk about my dogs, there you go, I'll show you. Oh, there they are. Oh, there's a Wally. All very, had put it, very gentlemanly-like. Got his bits up in the air. There's Pandora, she's snoring over there, and so is Sebastian. Oh no, he's licking his bits. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Well, yeah. Leave it to your imagination. So, I was all a bit mad. Anyway, Mad Monk 30, he said, if you want to support Marcus, Allshorts, you can donate to his GoFundMe page instead of Super Chat if you like. Yeah, got GoFundMe for the actual channel as well now. So, the thing about YouTube itself, they take 30% of the Super Chats. It's nuts. So it's they're quite greedy, yeah, to say the least. In fact, they're very cheap, very greedy. So where was I? Anyway, back on we go. You get a fine between 120 and 600 euros. What's that for, Joa? Well, in Portugal, is that for the headphones? Not that Brexit, a different Brexit. As long as it's a Brexit, it's because we got a different Brexit. No? Maybe. Oh, looked like a robin, but weren't robins. Yeah, they're bizarre. And then they have like a sliding door as well. The little blue ones, and they're horrible little. They used to call them invalidity cars, didn't they? I remember the little blue ones. 180 horsepower. Ooh, that's powerful. What's my motorbike? That's about 130, I think it is. 130 brake horsepower. That's high torque. It's not like a racy type of bike. No, I feel like something's tickling my feet. Well, my estate car was 175 horsepower. It's mental. Oh, it was like, you remember the Volvo T5? They were pretty blooming quick. The estate version. Right, oh, the best car driving, it was MGZR. Mine, I've had few Jags, and because I could afford them at the time, and I like Jags, but I can't now, obviously. Now I've got cramp now. Oh, it's about right, isn't it? Just flipping. Oh. And the worst one I had, not because it was a bad car, was go and find it for you. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It was. Oh, where is? Is that the one? No, it's not that one. Nope, not that one. Next guy. So this is when I could afford things. Got to find it now. Oh, why isn't it coming up? I'm getting everything bar what I'm looking for. It'd be an old car now, you know what I mean? But it was the worst one I had was a supercharged, and that thing used to, oh god, it used to eat fuel, absolutely eat fuel. That's before I sort of realised it was a bad idea. There we go. Is that the one? Oh, here it is. No, that's the V8 one. Was it the V8 one? Was it V8? It was V8. What's that one? No, it's not. That's newer. Mine's a lot older than that. It's one with a mesh grill anyway. It was supercharged Jag. Oh, hang on, is that the one? Ah, that's the one. Found it. Bum. Is that the one? Ah. No, it's not that one. It had a mesh grill. So, there we go. Yeah, it's like that. Oh, like that, and it was red. It was red. I'll show you. That's when I wasn't quite so worried about things. These days, I think, oh my god, why didn't you buy this stuff? They didn't need it. It was stupid. It was just ridiculous. It's only because I could. Because I'm a business owner. My business was quite successful. I was doing really well. But when it come down to, you think, what hell would I do that for? It's just stupid. You know. These days, I'd rather have a sort of SUV kind of four-wheel drive, because I need four-wheel drive here because we're out in the country, but also I do a lot of trailer pulling and I use it on the land as well. Pulling stuff around the fields here. So, and when you get snowed in here, you get flipping snowed in. I'll tell you that much. And because they don't grit in these areas, obviously the backlands, they never get gritted. They just pile up with snow. So you might be fortunate. You might have the local farmer. If you're lucky, he might stick his old Manitou, his bucket down, and have a bit of a scrape about it. But most of the time, you're just driving around and yeah. Do you know what? Actually, see 1975 Triumph Spitfire 1500. He says he owned. I love the old Spitfire. The Spitfire and the Triumph Herald, they're very similar on the chassis because you could literally pull the body off. It didn't take much to remove the body on the Triumph Herald, or the Triumph Spitfire. And the Herald, I don't know about the Spitfire so much, but the Herald had a very small, 22-foot turn circle. It had quite a tight turn circle on it. Really great. I had a little 1500 Triumph Herald, and that thing was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love that car. And a Dolomite. I had a Triumph Dolomite as well, and I loved that car as well. That was I did like the Triumphs. They were quite good. The Dolomite was really good. That was when I first bought that. My mum was saying, "Don't buy that. It's green. It's unlucky." It was one of the best cars I had at the time. But before that, my favourite ever car, if I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, apart from, my Jags were nice, but the Morris Minor. It's got to be the Morris Minor. And I've had I've had 3 Morris Minors. My sister's had one. Yeah. And my son's, Darren, has also had, he lives here now, but he had the Morris Minor saloon. And I've had the saloon, the Traveller, and the van. I haven't had a pickup, but the Traveller, the one with the ash woodwork on the side, I'd actually replace all the back doors on that with the woodwork. That's based on a chassis, whereas the van and the pickup was also based on a proper chassis. So it's quite a solid thing. And they're 1100 engines. They've got the bigger tyres, stuff like that. Yeah. But my van, I put a 2-litre V4 Corsair engine in that. It was quite young. It's the sort of thing you do. Colonel Bogie horns and flashy lights on it and shit like that. And I painted it bright pink with black trim. It was a sight, I'll tell you. That thing was hilarious. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was only young, you know. In fact, that was the first vehicle I had. It was blue when I bought it. It was ex-GPO. And, I had the Traveller. I had that later on. And also a Saloon. And that was the typical light blue Morris Minor. And that was 1,000. Yeah, that was the 1,000cc. And just set up your points and your points. Set up your points. Yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't start. And it didn't have an alternator. It had a dynamo and a regulator. So you had to set your regulator up for the peak and the high and low revs on the engine and stuff. I wouldn't charge your battery up. And I just love using the crank handle. Yes, I had the crank handle. And I just used it just for the hell of it, just because it was funny. Just in the supermarket, your car park, and there you are, with your crank handle starting, and it was really easy to start on a crank handle. If anything, I would say it probably started better on the crank handle than it did on the battery. So, that was fun. Lovely old car they were. I wouldn't want to get another one, actually. They're brilliant old things. And they had the A-series block in them. So it's the British Lane A-series block. Brilliant little engine. It's really simple. Same engine they put in the old Mini. Yeah, so it's about time that someone reminds the UK of its intentional obligations, including keeping the ocean clean. Yeah. Because do you know what? We're sick and tired of seeing your turds float down here onto Normandy, for instance. Yeah. It brings a whole new, to the Normandy landings. Yeah, lovely. Stick a little flag in it, maybe. At least we know where they come from, then. Well, shame, no diesel or hydrogen fuel cell. The problem with hydrogen is it's two ways of producing hydrogen. Sorry. 2 ways of producing hydrogen. And one way is not exactly very environmental. No, I know it puts out water, but also it's extremely dangerous to store. That's the only other thing. I think batteries are the way at the moment, and they're going to keep improving, aren't they? I would hope. And they come up with you've got salt batteries and all sorts of different sort of batteries that potentially could be the future, maybe. What the problem is, all these things use resources that are taken from the earth, and even lithium is very bad for the environment. Not the fact that lithium itself is bad for the environment, but the fact that you're removing it from as part of our ecosystem. Not ecosystem. How do we call it now? Oh, I forgot. Not anyone Leeds. Hello there. I hope you're well, my friend. Oh, he is. He says, I'm fine, thanks, except the Tories are winding me up as usual. It's not difficult. Just don't watch them. Shut off to the Tories, I'll tell you what. Crikey. Oh, Nick Ferrari is spitting feathers over Surge. Yeah, he was talking about it this morning, weren't he, as well? And also, wasn't he on Question Time or something? Or Question Time, was it? It was on something. I think it was on Question Time last week, wasn't he? Or something. Was it Question Time? Anyway, he was saying that we should log them up. I don't think that's the answer. You know what we need to do? We need to impose the fines, okay, to a level where they're so high, they'll be forced to actually spend huge amounts of money on the infrastructure so they don't get fined. And then the share values will go down, and then we can buy them for £1. Not the shares, I mean the whole company. Buy it for £1, because literally, it's flat on its face. It's kind of what we've got to do. Now, somebody... who was this saying to me? Actually, that was my French neighbour. She's a bit crazy. She was saying to me the other day, she was saying, well, I think that... she said, I'm looking forward to the whole thing just collapsing. The economy and everything. The whole thing collapsing, because then we can start from the ground up. And I said to myself, okay, that's all very well, but all the people, they're going to suffer. And it's not just, crazy people. There's decent people as well, earthy people, and also people who got kids. And the kids themselves, everybody suffers. So we need a practical solution. Like Smith said, we could even have a turd day. We could have a national turd day. What do you reckon to that idea? Yeah, where we kind of worship the turd, have a day off from work. Yeah, it could be a bank holiday, maybe. Yeah, the National Turd Day. No, that's a silly idea, really, isn't it? I think it is, yeah. I think really we just shouldn't be pumping the stuff into the rivers and seas. for a start. So at least we can actually safely go and have a swim in a river or sea without worrying about swallowing a floater or something, or be like I don't know, like this geezer.
Like you'll go person, woman, man, camera.
When he's
TV.
walking up those steps to the his jet, and he's got toilet paper stuck to his foot. We don't want to be coming out the rivers and seas with toilet paper stuck to her feet, or to her face, or to her head, or to her back, or whatever it might be. No, it's just disgusting. Remember, this is other people's poo. It's not even your poo. How would you know if it's yours? You won't. It's more likely to be somebody else's. Doors crunching on the bone. I do love my dogs. They are lovely. They're pain as well, though. My little Wally ain't very well at the moment, are you, boy? He's got air infection or something. He's got keep tipping his head, and it's sore. So he's on antibiotics and paracetamol, don't you? Mm. He's been a bit better since he's had the medication, so he's a bit better. Ash Sarkar was good on Question Time. She's brilliant. I love Ash Sarkar. She's on oh god, what's it called? Nova something or other, isn't it? Yeah. She's lovely. She is. I like Ash. I love just like Melinda as well. Basically, you could use a solid oxide fuel cell to convert any hydrocarbon fuels to hydrogen, oil, natural gas, hydrogen, even ammonia. Blimey, I didn't know that. I'm not a scientist. No, I make stuff out of wood, and it's not very scientific, very practical. But don't worry, it's unskilled work. I like to see flippin' Suella Braben do what I can do. I like to see him, I don't know, do a haunched tendon. Or even, dovetail. A tusk tendon. Or anything. Even playing a piece of wood true. Bet you can't even do that. It's a skill. It's all a skill. Punami. Oh, that's a tsunami. Got Punami. I found myself agreeing with Nick Ferrari last week. I know. I did. And this morning, he was kind of talking sense, but I think you got to be careful, because I think what he was saying, it was kind of a bit impractical. We still want a functioning sewage system. We just need to push them into doing the right thing and stop ripping us off. Well, not me, because I ran away. Yeah, I don't have a sewage system. No, because we have Boss. Yeah, so we're not relying on. Well, we don't have to pay a sewage element. Besides, I don't even have a water bill. No water bill here now, because we're on a well. We have a well. The only things we do have to test it, so there is that cost, but that isn't very expensive anyway, to be fair. That's like cheaper than the water bill. Put it like that. Are the UK trying to kill off all the French fish? Yes, with their floaters. Gurgles, they are. They're gurgling on them. Poor little fish. Novara Media, that's it, Peter. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, she's lovely. I like Ash. The thing is, these people are so... if I get in a situation... I know what I want to say, but I don't always have the ability to get my worms out, if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I'll get put on the spot. And I think about it afterwards. Think, hang on. I didn't make blooming sense. What are you on about? Like a bit like when I was on with Max for a Spare and that numpty Phil Morehouse, him. And I think after, I wish I said this. I wish I said that. And I think, oh. The problem with me is I'm actually I know I don't seem very respectful of some people, but I am actually quite. If I hold people in high esteem, well then I'm quite respectful. But after that, as far as I'm concerned, he's an umpty. Sorry. Anyway, it's not about him anyway, is it? Sabine and Adil. Exactly. A friend sent me the link some time ago. Okay. Don't know what it's about, but there you go. Britannia rules the waves. Yeah, okay. With their brown emissaries of doom. Yeah, Caroline and other stuff. Ash is a little bit too left to be sensible. I think she's a decent. I think she's fairly decent, to be honest. I like Ash, to be honest. I'm not that far left, to be honest. I would say I'm more left to centre, to be honest. Because I understand industry needs to be able to function. I understand that business needs to function, because they have businesses, you see. And you have to. Now, my eldest son Wayne, he was really anti bosses, all bastards and all that, all they want to do is just treat you like slave drivers and do this and do that, and they're earning all the money. Until him and me, we started our business up together, and then he realised, oh my God, there's a lot of stress, a lot of worry, a lot of pressure, and he's sort of a bit more appreciative after that. You realise, it's not quite as easy. But obviously, you've got the big guys and that, just ripping people off. But, the smaller businesses and that, they have to work extremely hard. And if they don't, unless they've got a very lucrative business, they don't make the money. Captain Ferrari wouldn't care if his son had got poisoned. Oh, good point. Yes, that's a valid point, said Harry the Cat. Yes, boy got poisoned, didn't he? And now he's virtue signalling. Very good point. And he is a gammon kipper. That he is.
Kipper.
Well, see if Alec. I hope you're well, friend. Do. And he does. Anyway, where were we? Oh my Gideon! Right, so I did that. Okay, actually, if I've done them, should I get rid of them so I'm not getting confused? The problem is when I've got all this stuff up on here and the things I want to touch. How long have we been live now? Double check that. An hour and 38 minutes. Oh, I mean, I've been cranky. Don't time fly when you're having fun? Maybe not. I've just got to count bin face in my feed. Okay, done that one. So Kimmy Badenoch, she's was saying, as I said earlier, she was saying it's got nothing to do with Brexit. Yeah, that's such a bizarre thing to say. It really is. That makes no sense whatever. Well, Richie Sunak says that the UK is now in talks with the EU to allay car makers' Brexit concerns. So make them feel happier about the Brexit. Yeah, unfortunately, it ain't gonna work because, like I said earlier, why would they make the changes unless it's affecting them as well? Quite frankly, and they might do. I'm not saying they won't, but I think it's unlikely because we don't have a seat at the table anymore. We don't have the power that we once did. We don't have the soft power even that we once had. No. So Richie Sunak says the UK is in talks with the EU. They sent over Kemi Badenoch. Good luck. It's nothing to do with Brexit. No. Well, to try to allay car makers' Brexit concerns. So the PM's comments come after Germany's automotive industry have joined the calls up from Stellantis, Avi Vauxhall, and who else was it? Fiat, Peugeot, and I think a few others, what have you, I don't know. They said, okay then, this isn't going to work, we might have to ship out. So Richie Sunak said that the UK is in talks with the EU over Brexit rules that could make some electric cars more expensive. It will do. There's no ifs or buts. It will make it more expensive under the current rules when it comes in next year, 45%. Of the value of the vehicle for rules of origin. So, after Germany's powerful automotive industry joined other leading car makers in for calling for more time. Well, you can only call for more time in the EU. You have to ask them to give us more time. But what we negotiate, the deal's already signed, sealed, and delivered. So it's why would they do it? They might do. They might be kind. So okay then. They might say, it's affecting the German car industry and as well. Yeah, so maybe there's a possibility. But this is going to be an ongoing problem. What happens when, let's face it, kick a can down the road for another 12 months or 2 years or whatever it might be. And then what happens? We're in exactly the same boat again, unless you get rid of it altogether. But that ain't going to happen, is it? As it stands. So Germany's main automotive lobby group, the VDA, joined calls on Thursday, such as Stellantis, for an extension of Brexit trade deadline for 3 years to avoid a 10% rise in electric vehicles across the channel to the UK. Because the battery is one of the biggest expensive components of the car, you see. They're not cheap things. This is one of the things, I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think this is a major issue. That the value of the vehicle is relying on the batteries. And I know some people say these batteries can last 15 years, but they deplete. They're all batteries. They deplete over a period of time. Like, for instance, I don't know, let's say, for argument's sake, it gives you 80 miles range, for instance. Well, 5 years' time, it might only be 60 or 70 miles range. And then the thing is, that'll be less and less and less. And it's going to devalue. And it won't be more cost effective to replace it. Some of these things are hardwired into the vehicles and not necessarily just a plug and play. And this is what we need. What we need is like when you change, you should have an exchange system where you can exchange your battery. So you take, hand one over, and they can do what they want with it. I don't know what they do with it, but there you go. Recycle it probably. I don't know. Well, the Brexit trade deal that was struck between the UK and the EU at the end of 2020 contained rules of origin intended to spur the creation of domestic electric car and battery industries to ensure that the region does not remain dependent on Asian battery imports. This is a bit like the CPUs and stuff like that. You got, okay, not in the UK so much, but in the EU, they say we need to be independent from Taiwan, actually, and China. And the same thing is going on with India at the moment. They just announced a new, I think it's a semiconductor actually, a new chip. So they won't be so dependent on Taiwan and obviously China. And obviously the United States now as well. But, regarding obviously WMC, is it, in Taiwan, the semiconductor manufacturers that are at risk because of China could invade, because they want to get hold of that, I imagine. It's not just about territory, it's about power. Because obviously they produce about 90% of the world's semiconductors. So it's a bit frightening, really, that if China invades Taiwan, the economy is going to flatline. It really is. It's going to be like, when you, I don't know, let's say if you see scientific, science fiction movies, what have you, and they want to stop the earthquake. The big cracks appear and splitting the earth in two, and it's like, I know, we'll put a big hole and it'll stop the crack going any further. It's a bit like that. Yeah, kind of. Maybe. Anyway, however, new factories have not sprung up quickly because they take a long while. These are clinical spaces. They're not like, some Amazon warehouse somewhere. These are clinical spaces because they don't want bits of hair in it and stuff. You see, in the wafers for the CPUs and stuff. But so they can take like 10 years to build these places, these factories for CPUs. So it'll take a long time. So it was still extreme risk. The EU, there's several places in the EU that started setting up for manufacturing of CPUs, what have you, and semiconductors in the EU. Is the UK? They've got ARM, but they're likely to go over to the United States, aren't they? Or at least they've flown the company over there and not in the UK. Well, some car makers may face the prospect of tariffs on exports in January. And they're speaking at the G7 summit in Japan. The Prime Minister signalled that the UK would be willing to reopen part of the trade deal to give car makers more time. No. They've got to ask. They've got to ask the EU, would you consider this? It's two sides to that coin. So how the UK can't just reopen it? Although we've got 5 years when it gets reviewed. Is it 5 years? Anyway, it's something that car manufacturers across Europe, not just in the UK, have raised as a concern. Because obviously the door swings both ways. But so anyway, according to Bloomberg News, we are engaged in dialogue with the EU, and now we might address this. You sent a Kimmy Badenoch. That's not engaging. That's like, oh my Gideon. That's why we screw yourself. Why don't you? Well, I suppose at least she did say, oh, I know, we're going to not do the sunset clause. I suppose that was a sensible move. She said that was her, that was her little baby. She says, oh, we're not going to do it now, and upsetting the Jacob Rees-Mogg and all that Doffcat Borlock. Well, so, okay, they want to try and adjust the deal. So manufacturing more generally, to adjust the deal because tariffs would represent a significant competitive disadvantage. Yeah, will make itself, the UK will be not uncompetitive. Will price itself out of the market, basically. 10% is quite a considerable increase. So a competitive disadvantage for the European car industry in relation to its Asian competitors in the so important UK market. Tariffs would slow down and the shift to electric cars, it argued. Obviously, it's going to cause a huge with the net zero targets. And you know what, Wally? Oh, okay. You want a treat? You want a treat, Wally? You see the top of it? Move that out of the way. What? What's that, Wally? Oh, there we go. I better woke the other two up now. Yeah, they're both. Oh God, what they like? Yeah, they're both out saying, "Oh, what about us?" Oh, we didn't catch it. Were you better catch it? No, okay, don't catch it. Then. So yeah. Oh. The VDA's members include some of the most, world's most powerful car makers such as BMW, Mercedes-Benz and Porsche and Volkswagen. And the UK represents an important and profitable market for Germany's car makers, about small parts of their global sales. I don't even remember this. I've done various videos about this before. I can't remember the name of them now. There's several, about 3, maybe 4 car part manufacturers. They shut down in the UK. So we're quite dependent on importing of stuff. Now, you could say, oh, well, importing stuff from the EU. Oh, that's okay then. Because technically speaking, that is okay. But, and the big but is that with the rules of origin, anything that you import and then you've got to re-export it in a car. So if you import something from the EU and you've got to re-export it back into the EU as a car, you've still got to prove, obviously, the rules of origin and stuff. But you've actually got to go through a whole load of red tape because you can claim it back, you see. Anything, it's not automatic. Like, for instance, anything that we produce in the UK and its rules of origin is UK origin and then we send it over to the EU, that's automatic, don't worry about it. But when you import something from the EU and then re-export it, you have to go through a claim, you take the money, then you've got to try and claim it back. So it's a palaver. It's called red tape. More red tape. They love red tape, don't they? It's called Brexit. We should call it red tape. Yeah, maybe. Well, car makers have had 2 years to prepare, they say, for the deadline. No, it's not as simple as that. Oh, you just prepare for it. Can you remember the flipping deal was like last minute? Last minute deal that was. Even, what's her name? Oh, Giddy Aunt now. Oh, crikey. Got to find it now. I wonder if I got it there still. Might have it there. I might not have it there. I might have it there or might not have it there. Oh, here we go. I have got it. This flippin' numpty.
Agreement came when we were all very busy on Christmas Eve, in my case organising the local nativity trail.
A flippin' nativity! Can we bother to read it? Does this apply to all the flippin' Tories? Did none of them actually read it? I said, we were told it was okay, so we just signed it. We just voted for it, sorry. Yeah. Lovely. No. Flippin' hell, they're responsible for the mess that we're in the UK. It's just mental. These people are lunatics. They really are lunatics. So car makers have had 2 years to prepare. Yeah, but the trade deal came in at the last minute and shit. And no one actually understood what it actually meant. Because they didn't read it. They didn't read it or understand it. They probably weren't even capable of understanding it. You got people like Victoria Prentice and, my giddy aunt and the rest of them. They ain't got a clue what it's about. Probably don't even know what the terminology is. To be fair, a lot of people wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. I did read a lot of the stuff. I'll tell you what I did read is a huge amount of this flipping, crikey, preparedness notices. I mentioned it several times. I say a huge amount. Anything that I think was interesting to me, I read it. Because, I was talking about it, so I wanted to understand it, And they warned us. Everyone's in there. They warned us. And then about 4 or 5 months later, the UK, like a copy and paste, decided to put out their own preparedness notices. And I think the EU did it in like the May of that year. And then, the UK, I think it was September. So it was much later anyway. So, what's up, Wally? He's definitely better. He's definitely a lot better than he was. Keep doing that with his head. Keep tipping his head because he's got a head earache. His head looks a bit floppy on one side. What's wrong with that ear, Wally? It seems deformed. Oh well, probably the muscle. It's probably sore because of the muscles and stuff. But so there's blah 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 blah. Car makers have had 2 years to prepare for the deadline, but the flurry of lobbying was triggered by Stellantis. Yeah. Vauxhall and all that. And the owner brands included Vauxhall, Fiat and Peugeot. Telling a UK parliamentary committee that it needed more time to source batteries from within Europe. Well, the thing is, though, the Europe's only just started setting up for it. It's just they don't really have the capacity themselves yet. They're working on it. It's not like British fault that collapsed, And he's written whinging now, isn't he? The geezer from British Fault, he's saying, "Oh, it's the government's fault. They messed us about. They did." Well, the government basically said the stuff has to be installed and what have you before we will give you any money. So it's just the government's, try and say, okay, we're helping here, but the fact of the matter is, what did she help with? Because if it's already built and already there, well, that means that they've got to try and get a shitload of loans and what have you to, like bridging loans to tide them over. We're talking about massive amounts of money, and it collapsed. Well, Ford, Jaguar, Land Rover, and the European Automobile Manufacturers Association on Wednesday joined Stellantis in publicly calling for the deadline to be extended. Well, they've got to ask the EU, quite frankly. If the EU wanted something, it'd have to ask the UK. But the UK wants something, so it's going to have to ask the EU. It's just logic, isn't it? Anyway. Well, as vice versa, they must source, it's 45% actually, of the parts by value from within the countries within the trade deal. Oh no, I said 40%, then it goes to 45% on the 1st of January. And in 2027, it will rise to 55%. God's sake. And when you got, the batteries are the biggest portion of the car, but that's a massive, massive problem. Oh, dear. Well, as most electric vehicle batteries are still imported from China.
One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Oh, yes. Well, China, South Korea, and Japan. And the batteries make up a large part of the cost of building a car. When I say South Korea, do you reckon it'd be Samsung or something like that producing the batteries? Maybe. Yeah, make up a large part of the cost of the building a car. I think it's a massive problem. You see, the thing about carbon fuels, petrol, diesel cars, what have you. There's lots of different components. Even with the engine, there's masses of different components. There's lots. In some ways, it's more recyclable, I think, for a start, but also it's more repairable. You get some of these batteries, if they get burnt out, you've got to send them to be rewound or something. These are really high tech things. These batteries, all brushless motors and stuff like that. They're chuggaways, really. I don't know if they're designed to be repaired. Well, they might be. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. But the VDA asked for the deadline to be extended until the end of 2026. Might happen, might not. I've got my doubts, but there you go. So the UK Businesses and Trade Secretary Kemi Badenoch. Oh, send her in. Oh, send in the Badenoch. Sounds like something that's Star Wars. Is it that thing that in the sand to Tatooine, or to eat people? No. They defended the government against the criticism from Labour in Parliament on Thursday, and the government policy could risk jobs moving overseas. Of course it will. Well, okay, we're going to have a skills drain, and we've got a brain drain. They're all going to the EU. And science. Oh my God. I think it's too late for the UK, and then we've got flipping EU reach, and that thing really... Oh, it makes me so angry. That's the one thing that would make me strangle a Brexiter, for real, is EU reach. The idea that we're now importing beagles. 2 weeks ago, a shipment of beagles entered the UK for animal testing for cosmetics. Flippin' disgusting. It really is. And they should be absolutely not just ashamed. They should be, castrated so they can't reproduce. All the Brexiters. Oh, they're all too flippin' old. Damn it. Most of them, anyway. Well, she said that the rules of origin problem isn't to do with Brexit. She's a lunatic. That's what she is. She said that the rules of origin problem isn't to do with Brexit, but it is Brexit. It's in the Trade and Cooperation Agreement. We wouldn't have a Trade and Cooperation Agreement if we didn't Brexit. It's the Brexit. Just want my Brexit. That's what it is, this flipping lot. Well, but rather with supply chain issues, she says. Because of Brexit. How can it not be Brexit? There's no argument. How can you say that? Do people believe it? Do people honestly believe that's not Brexit? All you do make yourself... these are blatant lies. But rather with supply chain issues, she says. Badenoch. Well, she's like... Yeah. Maybe. She's like a Bamford fodder. Looks like one. Anyway, following the pandemic and the war in Russia, she says, and Ukraine, the vehicles and moving between the UK and Europe were not subject to tariffs. However, when the UK was an EU member... Oh... She just... That's lies. Mike Hall, the chief executive of the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, a British automotive lobby group, said the UK-EU Trade and Cooperation Agreement provided the basis of a free trade and unlocked some pent-up investment. However, the rules of origin, which are part of the Trade and Cooperation Agreement for batteries, pose a significant challenge to manufacturers on both sides of the channel, with a prospect of tariffs and price increases, which will discourage consumers from buying. Obviously. You can price yourself out of the market. You make yourself too expensive. I'm just going to let my dog out. My little Wally wants to... Oh, don't need Blackadder. We might do Blackadder. Oh, I've got wrong one. There's 2 buttons instead of 1. You got me? Okay, up you go. Anyone else? No? No, they're not interested, but Wally, he's just gone out for cock a leg. As you do. Anyway, let's check the chat. In we go. In for penny, in for pound. They're all gammon kippers, they are. Anyways, gammon Ferrari wouldn't care if it wasn't for the sun. Not that I know. Oh, come on, update. Why isn't it updating? It's not even moving. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go, that's better. Oh, abandon hope, all who enter here. Well, one day you might get your... independence from the United Kingdom. Maybe. Hello, gingers. They should test the cosmetics on people. Stick it in their flippin' eyes. Yeah. Make them eat lipstick and stuff. Stick it with the derriere, maybe. Ooh. I might like that. Anyway. Okay. Well, who wants to see the Tories anyway in any situation? No. And hopefully they'll be decimated. And there'll be no more. Maybe 30p Lee will be the food bank. Eating the flippin' food instead of making 30p meals. Look, they aren't 30p anyway, because he's got a chef involved and they made it in mass. And who makes a mass, in bulk food? No, they don't, because they can't afford the ingredients in the first place. Talk poppycock. Anyway. Marcus, the numpties waited until, says Susan DeWitt, the numpties waited until the last minute because the EU was going to bow to their will and they're going to be rescued by the German car automotive industry. David Davis, he said. There you go, Wally. Now my boy. My little buddy. Oh, the world's gone bonkers. I feel bonkers at the moment. Absolutely flipping bonkers. My brain is spinning. All this bonkers. Because it's all bonkers. It's flipping crazy. It is absolutely flipping crazy. What boggles my mind is the fact that people are still chanting their Brexit. But there shouldn't be any argument here now. It's just all obvious. It's just out there. But now they're just looking for this new excuse saying, it's the way we've implemented Brexit. It's not because Brexit is a failure. No, it's how we implemented Brexit is a failure. It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. And then you got Nigel Farage doing the same thing. We were failed by the Tories, they says. Yeah. What do you reckon? What are they? Come in. Don't come up. No, don't pull you about at the moment because he's got a dodgy head. Yeah, boy. Ooh. He fell down the stairs as well because all his balance is all off. Oh, what a good catch. You didn't see that, did you? No, Sebastian didn't catch her. Anyway. Oh. Kimmy. Oh, what's that? Did you hear that? I just touched his head. Oh, you weren't fella. Sorry, buddy. Oh, poor little Wally. He's got to have antibiotics tonight as well. I'll do that in a minute. The Sarlacc as a personality, yes. They talked about the major car brand manufacturers, but failed. Where's it jumped up again? But failed to think about all the little businesses. That's a valid point, actually, that provide various components that supply those manufacturers. There's a whole, the whole supply chain's collapsing. But can you remember the van man? What's his name now? Kieran, the van driver. That's Kieran, the van driver. He's phoned up LBC before. He's also confronted Jake Rees-Mogg before and that as well. He's one of the original three blokes in the pub with Graham Hughes. Well, his business suffered. He got really depressed over it. Actually, I was making the mill, and it's just everything just takes so much longer now. So you've got these, people who supply stuff, and you do a lot of like display stuff and what have you, and the whole lot's got 88 car, and there's a whole load of paperwork, and it's just a headache. It makes the whole job, well, it's no longer. He might have enjoyed his job before, but now he doesn't. And it's not just going to be him. There's going to be masses of small businesses, not just the big guys, that are suffering because of Brexit. And many of those people might even voted for it without thinking. So yeah, you need to get a cover for that chair. I know. But it's quite good. It's a very good chair actually, because yeah. Oh, you saw it, didn't you? You just saw it a minute ago when I got up. But yeah, it ventilates as well. Yeah, so you fart, it goes straight through. Perfect, absolutely perfect. But also, if it gets hot, it keeps you cool. But it's a really good chair. So I'm not going to mess about with it. I'm really pleased with my chair, apart from the fact it's got a butcher's apron on it. But I can't see it. You see, because I'm looking at you. You said I'm sitting on that. I'm covering my fat body. There you go. Sorry. Well. That chair, Joe says. I was talking about my flippant chair. Oh, good night, Daily Plaza. Take care, buddy. I'm off to bed now. He says, have a fantastic weekend, everybody. And you, friend. Be good. Yeah. I hope you're feeling okay, because I hope your legs. No, you had problems with your legs, weren't you? At least Wally B isn't bothering Pandora. No, God's sake. What am I going to do about it in doing that? This is a new development. He didn't used to do it. Maybe a little bit, but nothing like this. It's just, she used to be the one jumping on everyone's back. And now he's just constant. It's just all the time. There's something wrong with him. God. Yeah. If anyone didn't know, my Wally keeps trying to mount my Pandora. Poor little girl. She's got bad hip as well, she has. She's like an old woman. At least Wally B isn't bothering Pandora. Oh, I know. Good. Good night, Daily Balazzi. And Matthew McNellis did a good video about the Republic arrests. That was absolutely disgraceful. But also the that women's charity as well, Women's Defence or something it's called. I don't know. They got wrongly arrested. Yeah, but also the Republic, the guy from the Republic was saying today that there's a possibility they're considering taking the police to court over those, because really there was no need for it. It was preemptive. They hadn't even done anything. Yeah, it's doing the coronation. Everyone didn't know it's doing the coronation. The protesters protested for a republic, and they got arrested before they even done anything at all. They actually got arrested while they're emptying the van. What's that all about? Yeah. Hello there. Who let the dogs out? Yeah, I know. Dum-ba-dum-bum-bum. Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet. Good night, sweet prince. Daily Blase. Oh dear. Yeah, good night, Daily Blase. I hope you're well. You didn't say good night to me. You said good night to everyone else, Dave Blase, but not me. What have I done wrong? Paint it. No, I've got a paper flipping chair. That'll probably wreck it. I don't know. I'm going to leave. Blast it off. No, it's not as simple as that. I don't know. Will it come off? I don't know. It seems I don't think it'll be as easy. They're quite expensive. €1,300, these chairs. These Hillman Miller Aerons, €1,300, ridiculously expensive. There's no way a chair's worth €1,300 flipping euros. That's silly. Obviously, I paid nothing like that for it. The people didn't know what it was. I did. But anyway, apart from that, the little crazy flipping thing on the back. So anyway, Wally is just like a compo bothering Nora Batty. Yes, he is. Yeah, and wrinkled stockings or tights. Wrinkled stockings or tights. Anyway, tights. Yeah. Wrinkled tights. Nora Batty, the little bagger. Even all. Hello, Jeremy. I don't get it. Where Snurnik is getting his info. All I listen to here is that the factories are predicted for Romania, Poland, and Germany, and here in Portugal, and one is being built this year, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they just say, okay, we'll just export into the United Kingdom. I think I won't be a bit surprised, and the benefits of being in the UK now is not really there, is it? And before they might have been benefiting from the fact that it was a stepping stone into the EU for other countries such as the United States, but it's not anymore. It's isolated, Why would the United States really want to do a trade deal with the United Kingdom? We're no longer that, like I say, that stepping stone into the EU. There's a lot of other countries as well. It's a big problem. Yeah, so charity works. Yeah, the charity works for the women's. I can't remember what it's called now. They literally hand out like rape alarms and stuff like that to women and what have you. These sort of events. Just it's good idea. But as far as obviously the police were concerned, they were going to be used to scare the horses or something like that. But that's not what the thing is. These people were working with the police. But to be fair, the Republic, the protesters, were also working with the police. So that was a bit nuts, and yet they still, they still did it. So there you go. It's the Scotch prices. I'm off too. Good night. Well, I'm going to be shut off in a minute as well because I've done more than an hour. I doubled my time again. Oh dear, I don't know what I do. How I do it. How do I do it? Well. So it is a complete and utter flipping mess. It really is a complete and utter mess. And I don't really see any light at the end of this tunnel. And there may be if there's... No, there isn't. Just be honest, there isn't any light at the end of this tunnel. It's just... Well, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. It really is. And so, yeah, Berlin, Germany's powerful auto industry association is urging the European Union and Britain to postpone Brexit rules. So maybe there's a possibility. If you look at this Europe Auto News, and so maybe there is a possibility that could get postponed. But then would you have to postpone it for everything? Because it's not just the automotive industry is affected by this. It's anything with rules of origin. Is there, is there a balance here? Not all trade is going to be, equal, is it? Would it just, would they just do it for the car automotive industry? I don't know. Maybe. So under the trade deal, let's say the 45%, that's going to be coming in next year. That's just crazy. Anyway, let's just do the chat. We need that now. We've done that. Anything else I've missed? Anything else I've missed? We're done. All right. Oh my god, I want to show you this. This is what's up, Wally? So I got that one there. Bum 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 bum. Got that. And I got Andrea Jenkins. What a loon. Right, so this is I mentioned it earlier actually. This is Andrea Jenkins. She's the one who gave the bird to everybody because she loves us all. Yeah. She does. She's a flippin' lunatic, that's what she is. She part of the Not 2019 intake? I think she is, isn't she? There we go.
I've written to Rishi Sunak yet again. This is following his meeting with the President of the European Court. Now, I'm disappointed we're still talking about reforms rather than withdrawal from the European Court of Human Rights. And let's face it, it's futile. They ain't going to reform. Now, the time for...
That's not the European Court of Human Rights. It'll be the European Convention of Human Rights. The courts are just the ones who does the legislation. If there's a problem, for instance, take people to court.
This is over and we need action now. We don't need to amend the convention. We need a British Bill of Rights, putting the power back in the British Parliament and the British courts. We need to return sovereignty to Westminster.
Oh, sovereignty!
And not have these powers in the hands of European judges, serving the ends...
So when they use the European judges and stuff... She's trying to make that connection with the EU. But it's not. The European Convention of Human Rights is not the EU.
...of Strasbourg and Brussels.
So Strasbourg and Brussels again.
If our sovereignty is to mean anything at all, it must mean that our Westminster Parliament is the primary law-making body of our land, and that only UK courts serve as arbiters for UK law. Now, I've joined with a Conservative Post to launch a petition. Already it's got 15,000 signatures and growing. Now, every one of these people want to return power to the UK. They want to withdraw from the European Court of Human Rights and stop the rising tides of illegal migration on British shores. If you'd like to sign the petition, you can find the link on this video.
No.
Now, Prime Minister, it's time to listen to the British people.
So they're all rallying around, aren't they, to stick the finger in Richie Sunak's eyes. They're just trying to find everything now. But the thing is, when you look at it's like the European Convention on Human Rights. Is it really that bad? If you look at this, for instance, these are the articles. Article 1, respecting rights. Article 2, the right of to life. Article 3, the right of freedom from torture. Article 4, the right of freedom from slavery. Article 5, the right to liberty. Article 6, the right to a fair trial. Article 7, the right not to be punished except according to law. Article 7, the right to privacy for private and family life. Article 9, the right to freedom of thought and conscience and religion. Article 10, the right to freedom of expression. Article 11, the right of freedom of association. And Article 12, the right to marriage. Ew. And Article 13, the right to effective remedy. Article 14, the right to freedom from discrimination. Article 15, the right to derogation. And Article 16, the right to restrict the political activity of aliens. Are they talking about space? Anyway, Article 17, the right to freedom from abuse of the rights of the Convention. And Article 18, permitted restrictions. That sounds like to me it's for people. Your rights. Now we know that one by one they've been removing our rights. For instance, Bill of Rights and Protest Bill and again and again and again. Even the Environment Bill has hidden stuff in there that isn't really for people. No. And definitely it's there too. Well, it basically sets limits for the water companies, which looks like it almost gives them a free-for-all. The whole thing's just nuts. Tory fascism. I agree that it is. Only traitors would sign away our fundamental human rights. Most definitely. Wouldn't you say so? People like Andrea flipping Jenkins with her bird, well then, quite frankly, I think she ought to be locked up and given the bird, literally. Maybe. Ooh. She might like it. Revoking human rights, says Johnny. I know, it's terrible. Who thinks that's a good idea? And is it human? No. Not at all. It's a terrible idea and it's inhumane. The thing about the Convention on Human Rights is for the people. It's for all people. Because we are all people after all, Fair representation in courts and stuff like that, so we don't end up, being poisoned in our underwear. Like that geezer in the Russia. I forgot his name now. Oh, Navalny. That's it, Navalny? Yeah, because he's standing up against Vladimir Putin and exposing his giant mansion. Putin's make big mansions, been paid for by the people. £1 billion mansion or some stupid. That's just ridiculous. I mean the Russian people, that is, obviously. Not us people. We're not paying for his... no, we're paying in other ways, and sanctions and what have you. But, needs must and all that. Oh, bon nuit to you, Thomas. Chick keg. Oh, gotta go to sleep. Do you need tucking in? Good night, Scotch boy. Take care, buddy. Peter, this is all about image and easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Yeah. UK electric cars will come with a very long extension cable because you won't be able to afford the batteries. Oh, actually, that's a really good idea because in rules of origin might not be a problem. I'm sure an extension lead is very, very cheap. Maybe be like the trams. You can hook your big, your copper hooks over the wires and that, and you just trundle along that way. Maybe it'd be like a ski electric. Well, somewhere, where was it now I read? Oh, they're electrifying the roads. I can't remember where it is now. Ooh, was it in the... Oh, whose section of roads have been electrified? I don't know if it's like wireless charging or something like you do on your mobile phones. I don't know. You're going to get tumours in the brain, probably. And then got chemtrails. But that's another story. I won't go into that. No, that's for the people who are a little bit out there. Oh, Duke Vengeance. Hello, my buddy. Do you mind? I'm trying to play the Legend of Zelda. Oh, gameplay. Marcus, the powerful German auto companies want subsidies and aid to invest in business, and they could not care diddly squat with a regional market like the UK. The hard truth, yeah. I happen to agree. And, well, will the UK government, as in the taxpayer, end up subsidising these automotive companies to compensate? Maybe. Don't know. Like they did with Nissan. We still don't actually know. Do we actually know? Does anyone actually know how much money Nissan got yet? Did anyone find out about that? Because obviously there's Nissan and Sunderland, which pretty much voted for Brexit. You know, they won the hardline Brexit numpties in Sunderland. Oh dear. My sister moved there. Which again, she's a bit of a nut job. Yeah. She voted for... Well, she didn't actually vote for Brexit. She said she didn't vote for Brexit because she thought Brexit would... This is actually... What finds was actually interesting, actually. Scots people here. Because my sister voted against Brexit. Not because I live in France. No, loving sister and all that. No. She voted against Brexit. Her argument said, because if you voted for Brexit, and if we had Brexit, the likelihood is Scotland would leave England. Leave the United Kingdom. That's what she said. My response to that wasn't because of us then, was it? I said, you know. Oh, thinking my dad voted for it as well. Asshole. Well, a great idea, starting early. I'm converted the night to... No, Cafal. Revoking human rights. Who thinks that's a good idea? And is it human? No, it's definitely not. Scroll down. I've gone too far up. Tory MP launches petition to be taken seriously by Sunak. But this is Andrea Jenkins, for God's sake. The only reason why she's got that, Joe, if I remember right, is that it was because of Brexit and Alexander Boris Johnson, you know. These people at the Red Wall and everything, they voted because of Brexit. Just a Brexit, they said.
Kipper.
Mm-hmm. That they are. Sorry, but they are. He's human. What are you doing, Boris? Because he's human. Oh my God, that David Dingleby, he was interviewing some hairdresser woman in Wales. And says, why do you like Boris Johnson? And he's a liar. And he's human. You like him because he's a liar? Yeah, because he's human or something like that anyway. Oh, dear me. I've played that so many times on my videos, I know, but crikey. It's flabbergasting, it really is. So Peter Dulles says the state aid package ultimately turned out to be worth £61 million when it was formally awarded to... 61 million. To Nissan in June 2018. Oh, okay. Has that been expanded on? Because there was rumours that they were going to get more. So, fact only acknowledged by Clark in a second letter sent on Monday to the Labour MP, Rachel Reeves, who chairs the Business Select Committee. Oh, I get you. Cheers, buddy. No VAT on most food products here. That is how you help people. No. There's no VAT at point of sale. But what about all the stuff they need to make the food, for instance? Everything's got VAT on it. So there is VAT. Well, because it gets added, they can't claim it back, so just get added onto the cost of the product. Argument's sake, let's say, for instance, you're a barista and you got to buy your coffee in. You're paying VAT on your coffee grains, and but the coffee itself in the UK, I don't know about coffee actually. Is coffee VATed in the UK? I don't know. But food in general, you're then selling it without VAT, so they can't claim it back. Some of them claim back. So yeah, not very helpful. Electric Avenue. Electric Avenue. So those advocating leaving the ECHR should educate themselves about the hooded men. HMG has formed for throwing human rights out of the throwing human rights out of the window, or in the case of the hooded men, out of a helicopter. I didn't. I'll have to look into that. I didn't know about that. Like I said, I'm learning all the time, you know. So it's like, you know, it's like that's one of the reasons why I read the comments, because you know, I know I don't always reply, or you know, I can't. It's just not possible. But I do go you know, scroll through it and what have you and read them because sometimes they're very, very interesting. Sometimes just funny, and sometimes they're silly, and but I do learn from them. And it's just, you know, if anything, it kind of enforces my point of view in many cases, you know, or I've learned something completely new. And Joe's, you know, for instance, Joe, P. Dulles, and many others, and Jordan, and what have you, when you leave comments and that, what have you, and like I say, I find them very, very, not just interesting, informative, which is great. it's good. And we never really stop learning unless you're a Brexiter. They stopped learning at birth. What they did. Yeah. They just drool a lot. That's what they do. Yeah. Oh God, I just find the whole thing unbelievable. So what is the difficulty in understanding international law? I learned the basis of it in grade 6 at school. Well, I think a lot of it's just common decency. A lot of it is, especially talking about the European Convention on Human Rights. A lot of it is just decency, and it's like was it about 2010, 2011 when animal rights and stuff like that was brought into law. A lot of this stuff was pushed by the UK first. This is the thing that's actually mind-numbing. A lot of these rules and what have you, and especially on animal rights and what have you, they originated with the United Kingdom first. Such as, banning testing on, for cosmetics regarding animals, what have you, on animals. The UK pushed that first. And then the EU followed, as a whole, followed suit. And yet now, all of a sudden, they don't want anything to do with them anymore. And now the United Kingdom was the first to go back to testing on animals. Now, I'd like to see the animal rights protesters going to these places, whether it be, what's it's called now? Huntington Life Sciences and those sort of places that were testing on animals, and start campaigning against them, pretty much doing what they were doing before. And I'll be funny, some of these protesters were quite aggressive. Passions, they talking about making animals suffer. Passions, they run high, don't they? It becomes heated. Shocking. Marcus, it's the public sale price at the supermarket and the grocers that have been investigated. I always say for not doing it, and some are on hot water. In Emmanuel Macron, I know he's got his problems at the moment regarding protests and setting light to his favourite restaurant and stuff like that. Well, because obviously the pensions and stuff, and it's calmed down a little bit. I think. To be fair, I actually followed it, and. He did. What's he doing in there? I can hear my Wally. That's a dog bowl. He's licking a dog bowl or something. But anyway, so passions sort of run high on what have you. But he's trying to push the supermarkets to bring the prices down. Now, the funny thing is, a few days later, we hear it in the UK. It's almost like a foreign suit. Oh, that seems like a good idea. We might get the people on, they might like us a bit if we try and push the supermarkets to bring the prices down. And we're finding there's certain supermarkets here in France that have actually brought the prices down on some of their own brand, like for instance, Super U. Their prices were high to start with, to be honest. They've brought some of the prices down to... What the hell? I could hear him in there. Brought the prices down a little bit. But the clerk and what have you, they've said no, because our prices are already low. But they need to come a lot lower, because even here as well, food inflation is high. People are struggling. They are. Hey, don't forget, I've got my other channel as well, my Earth Pro. I've been checking loads of stuff up there recently. Because I'm in the garden anyway, it's this ideal opportunity for me to quickly make a video. Oh, that's no, don't do a quick video. Some of it's a bit silly, but some of it's it's informative. And I made a video earlier today. I don't know if I uploaded that yet. Have I uploaded it? Yeah, it's like sharpening secateurs and stuff like that. Because people do it wrong. They do. They do. You don't. Yeah, they sharpen the wrong side of the blade. Silly. And so easy to do properly. So anyway. So yeah, I've been got my other channel as well. I'd be very appreciative if people do want to check it out. It's called Earth Trifle, and it's basically stuff around the garden and earthy stuff, but also mending machines and stuff like that. It's kind of the idea is that it's kind of environmental. Oh, cheers, man, Monk. It's kind of environmental, but it's I want to be practical for people, to encourage people to give it a go. Not necessarily just, do it this way or else, because otherwise it's not eco. Even if spraying, I don't do any spraying regarding pesticides or anything like that. But I do understand. I'm not going to reprimand people if they choose to use a little bit of pesticide, as long as they use it sparingly, and as long as they use it at the right times. Like, for instance, sometimes you get to a point where if you've got doing things the eco way, we're trying to do everything organically, you get to a point where you get overwhelmed. And what I don't want is for people to be put off. Oh no, it's failed, so I'm never going to do it again. You know what I mean? I want people to give it a go and maybe find solutions, because even using you're talking about small amounts of pesticide, even though I don't use it, but if you're using small amounts of pesticide, it's not like using thick and PA6 doing boom spraying and stuff like that, which is obviously terrible, and farmers do it at the wrong times of day. If you're doing it at the right times of day, the bees are not active, it's not. But don't ever use neonics. Never. Because, even some seeds are impregnated with this flipping pesticide, and it ends up in the plant, systemic in the plant, and the bees just land on the plant. They're not being sprayed. So after it's been sprayed, any time of day, they can land on that, and the neonics get into their system and kills the bees. Don't do that. That's nuts. Don't use neonics. But Deris and stuff like that, which is basically derivatives from a plant derivative. Or pyrophene, that's it, pyrophene. Chrysanthemum, that's it, from chrysanthemum. It's still, is a chemical. But I don't want to discourage people from giving it a go, anyway. So, because you've got to start somewhere, and it gives you opportunity to learn. And, to plant something, grow something, get something from it. And to be encouraged, and not to think, can't do it, and all of a sudden everything's a disaster. So sometimes you've got to do things the easy way. By the way, Allshorts, how dare you be so inconsiderate to stream while I'm at work? The two Davies do it too. Sorry! I sometimes just go a random stream, and maybe when I'm going for a dog walk or something like that, I might do a random one. So I'm trying to go almost down. I'm trying to do about 5 days a week at the moment. So, I've got cramp again. Oh my goodness! Just released it. Just released. It's the cost of the Queen's food. I saw that 162 million to bury someone. God's sake! Couldn't they just stuck in a weedy bin? God, that would have done the job. Been perfect. Get one of them for like 50 quid. A weedy bin. Do keep finding the hooded merganser? I don't know what that is. What's the hooded merganser? Oh, we talked about that earlier, about the hooded men. The hooded men, Northern Ireland, 5 techniques. I need to look into this. Everyone's talking about the hooded men. I ain't got a clue. I really haven't. Sorry. As everyone did their salute to Charlie, the dare lead. Just a question. No. I've told them F off. And then those people unsubscribed. Oh dear. Never mind. C'est la vie. But not around. No. Never do it anywhere near the bees. Any spraying. Make sure you do it when they're dormant. They're out of the way, basically, in the hives or solitary bees in their little holes somewhere. But no, definitely not. You got to be sensible. But I'm not saying make a habit. I'm just saying if you have to, there are fewer flies around now. Not there's flipping loads of flipping flies. Not just bees. Fewer birds. Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Actually, got a valid point in number 3. I've been baking a load of insect little boxes. I put 3 up the other day. I'm gonna make a load more. One of them I just refurbished from before, where the birds pulled all the bamboo out. So I put mesh over them now. But obviously, if you haven't got the insects, you don't have the birds because they've got to eat something. So good point. So they reckon there's a half amount of birds, even sparrows. The little flying rats. Those things they breed like crazy, but they're on the decline. It is a problem. It's all part of our whole ecosystem. The whole thing is it's all connected. And the thing that gets me, we all worry about all this stuff. Like, for instance, we've been talking about these flipping cars and what have you, and electric batteries, electric this and blah, 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 blah. But do you know what? If we don't look after the place that we're living in, we're buggered anyway. We really are. So we need to wake up, people. We do. We really do. And we aren't the most important thing in the... on the planet. I think we're quite, how to put it, we're quite selfish as a as a race of creatures. Yeah. Critters. Well, that's what we are. We're critters. Our Scots think we are oppressed, Marcus. If I oppressed you, probably depressed you. We have nothing on the Catholics in Northern Ireland. Not the same ballpark. Not even the same game. Have I oppressed you, Marcus's biggest fan? I hope I haven't oppressed the Scots. But I do understand where you're coming from. I think you've been treated like shit, to be honest. And the way they talk about it in flipping Parliament, it's better. Although you got Mari Black, and she is amazing. She is absolutely brilliant, tall but articulate, and I forgot his name now. The other one, the leader. Oh my giddy arm! What's his name? He's quite young. Not that concerns Mari Black. She's quite young as well. I think he's in his late 30s, but 37 is he? Oh crikey! What's his name? Oh, that come to me a minute. But he's brilliant anyway. They both are. It's just put the rest of them to shame. We might go extinct. Oh, definitely stink. But there you go. Possibly. No, I think the possibility is that there is a distinct possibility because for various reasons. PFA chemicals aren't going to help. No, not with our manhood. Definitely not. That's a right slap in the face, Mad Bunk. Oh, bloody disgrace. Oh, what did he say? What did he say? Where is he? Where's Mad Bunk? He's gone. Oh, he's down there. I got a shock today as I watched a squirrel eat a mouse. Just released is the the 162 million. That is a disgrace, but just to bury someone, it's just nuts. I know she's the Queen. I don't give a damn, to be honest. I got no interest in the monarchy apart from the fact they shouldn't be there. Yeah, pay for themselves. Get a flipping job. Working hard, I don't know. In fact, there's a lot of jobs going at the moment. You know, they'd get one of those, couldn't they? Yeah. I would have taken care of Lizzie for a tenner. No questions asked, Steve Fallick. In what way? What would be something to do with... Oh, no, I think that's an absolute.
That is a disgrace.
Stephen Flynn, that's it. That's the name. That's the name I was thinking of. Well, I didn't think of the name, but that's the person I was thinking of. Yeah, Stephen Flynn. That's the crazy thing is, it just seems to be that all the politicians in the SNP, they seem more competent. What's going on in the Tory party? They're definitely not competent. They constantly have to mitigate their Brexit, as in Parliament. Not actually mitigate Brexit itself, but try to justify it. The fact that it's an absolute mess. Oh, is that because, oh, crikey, Brexit is a failure. So we can't we just dump storage in Buckingham Palace? Can we just we need to open up to the people. We're paying for that flipping place. Yeah, and all the other big Sandringham and various other places. We're paying for them. It's ludicrous. I think that flipping carriage takes a good long while to polish. As well. Paying for that as well. Just polish the gilt or gold carriage. That stupid crown that looks going to fall off his head. He's got to do that all the while, you know. What's that all about, stupid flipping thing? That's just ridiculous. And then you got all those guards going around with a dead bear on their heads. Yeah, man, bear fur, aren't they? Or are they not now? Bear skin. Leave the flipping bears alone, I say. So, anyway. I'm going to say it's time to go because I'm really tired. I've got much longer and my back is killing me. Not because of my chair. Not because of my special butcher's aprons chair. No, because I've had a bad back all day. Probably because I've been digging in the flipping garden and haven't been looking after myself. Probably what it is. So, yeah, I think it's time to say ta-ta. Because I'm really tired. Yeah. Maybe I'll have more coffee. I know, it's been... Yeah, I've done an hour and a half long, hour and 36 minutes longer than what I said it's going to do. But I don't do that every time. One day I'll just be an hour. Yeah, how can I flip? I did 7 hours in a stream a few weeks back a couple months ago, didn't I? It was 7 hours. I think it was earlier this year, wasn't it? A 7-hour stream. Flipping lost my mind, I tell you. Must have done to do that. Our ex-king is actually a nice person. He works for a living and represents Portugal in the same state functions he pays taxes to, and he is not poor. No. Yeah. In Portugal. But no, we've got this flippin' lot. God, you know what? It's nuts. Absolutely crazy. Oh, Marx's hours are like Fergie time. Thank you. Oh dear. Well, I'm gonna say ta-ta. What can I leave you with? Oh, I need some outro videos. I need time to make them though. Time to make them. And I need to do another. Like my lockdown video, my Monsieur Patrolly video. I need some more like that. I do. I've got Marx's biggest fan favourite, which is Nigel Farage taking his shirt off. I got that. Oh, better. I need to put some more. I've got some more I could have put on there actually. I should have done that. Oh dear me. I know what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you Richie Sunak's Tory promotional video. This one is the official video. But unfortunately for Richie Sunak, don't do it. I'm not doing that, don't worry. Unfortunately for Richie Sunak, it was censored. Anyway, I'm going to say ta-ta. Ta-ta!
I will unite our country, not with words, but with action. I will work day in and day out to deliver for you. Whoop-de-doo!
Hello, Joe Biden here.
Mr. President, it's Rishi Sunak. How are you?
Like I said, ta-ta. Until next time. Oh, I nearly forgot. Thanks to the spanners. Mad Monk 33 and P Dallas. And cheers, Mark's biggest fan. That's very kind. Thank you. Ta-ta. And thanks everybody for watching. I nearly forgot that. Oh dear. What am I like, eh? Got memory like a sieve. Ta-ta.
Nigel's a model, you know what I mean, and he does his little turn on the catwalk. On the catwalk, yeah, he does his little turn on the catwalk. Get him off, Nigel. I'm too sexy for my cat, too sexy for my cat. Poor pussy cat. Oh, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me.
But new.
Ooh, saucy. Night-night.